schedule.
The afternoon, they changed their plan on Tuesday. I think
You
that they
excited?
would, I am, yeah, ready. I'm kind of mad that it's warm up here right now because I feel like I should just.
It would be more fun to leave.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, they're the lizards.
It's driving home last night. Got an enormous iced tea. Drank it all. Driving home from Virginia. And then I got back at midnight. And I was not ready for bed. Ready to go. I also drank it.
That probably was more.
I don't want to get tired on too much.
Okay.
I'm gonna join it here and. Hey, good evening, everybody. We'll call the March 14th workshop meeting to order. Would you stand for the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Because we're working primarily on mapping, told the town clerk we would not need her presence, so Councilman Coleman? Here. Councilwoman Dindar?
Here.
Councilwoman Anowen?
Here.
Councilwoman Spisa?
Here.
Supervisor Baden? Here, so all present. Town of Rochester Town Board accepts the agenda as prepared by the town supervisor. There's just one quick addition is the presentation to the board of the sealed bids for the record storage building. So with that addition,
I'll make that motion.
have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay. Two resolutions that we need to do. The first is setting a public hearing. I emailed you the proposed local law, so the Town of Rochester Town Board sets a public hearing of local law D of 2024. A local law amending the zoning map upon zoning permit request by a landowner be held Thursday, April 4th, 2024, commencing at 6:30 p.m. The Harold Lipton Community Center, 15 Tobacco Road, Accord, New York, and requests the town clerk to circulate and post all required notices of such public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Next, actually, it should say setting a public hearing, but the header should say sending referral.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that.
I cut and pasted.
I forgot. I
Sorry.
noticed that earlier.
Yeah. Okay, the Town of Rochester Town Board requests the town clerk send referral of local law D of 2024, local law amending the zoning map upon zoning permit request by a landowner to the Town of Rochester Planning Board and the Ulster County Planning Board for comment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained. Okay, so we will be doing that public hearing on that one parcel for the April meeting. Okay, moving into discussion. So the mapping, how do we want to, what's going to be the easiest way to do this? I have a list of the parcels on my computer. I also have a list of all the ones that I'm aware of that people questioned. I have paper map of the proposed changes as they stand right now. We can put parcel viewer up on the screen, or I can go get the zoning map off the wall. current. What's gonna be the easiest way? What I think in my head, the easiest way is the 209 corridor is, we need to have significant conversation about as part of it. Should we just start at one end of the town and work our way down the corridor and discuss each of those parcels or any of the ones that we want to discuss as we get to them?
We could do that. I wonder, should we have a high level conversation of just like if that,
I'm not understanding what,
just like, instead of going parcel, by like, how do we feel high level about the PL10? How do we feel high level about the 209?
okay,
I wonder,
Like,
I don't know.
yeah, like our, like broad, just as a general.
yeah.
Yeah, and then go into.
Objectives, like,
Yeah, because it really is a parcel by parcel thing. Yeah, so,
But
and
stating what we want to do with it and then
Yeah,
going parcel
yeah,
by parcel. would be
yeah.
really-
because some parcels, each parcel has its own unique characteristics, which is why we rezoned it in the first place. So we can have the high level conversation, but in my mind, it's a parcel by parcel.
I think for me personally, the 209 changes, for the most part, I think we should be returning to how they are now. This is how I'm feeling after.
Can you just shed light?
Sorry, go ahead.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
The 209 corridor, we should just.
I'm not sure I agree with 100% switch it back, and that's why I'd like to do parcel by parcel, because there's some that I still feel strongly we got right.
Okay.
I think just because.
So why don't we start by ones
Yeah.
that you do want?
Well,
to
I
change?
guess-
Well, it's gonna be a lot more, it's gonna be a lot easier if we start, and rather than jump all around the town, it's gonna be a lot easier if we
Right.
start in a spot. And that's how we zoned it in the beginning. We started at one spot and worked our
I guess
way.
that's what I was curious to hear, if we agreed on kind of bigger things, but
Well, my disagreement is more on a parcel by parcel basis, not on a bigger, broader thing, so.
okay, okay.
I still would appreciate though, a bigger, like a
Right.
broader.
Oh, you want to hear the like overview
Yeah.
of the changes?
So that'll be easier though if we're looking at the map
Yeah,
at the
We're
same
looking
time.
at a map saying here, the objective was to try to whatever.
Yeah.
The reason, the impetus for the change.
yeah,
Yep,
okay,
and I don't disagree on most of the changes,
Okay.
reverting them back. There's a couple though that I still think, I don't think they were zoned properly in the first place, my own personal
Yeah.
opinion, so. How you want to look at the paper copy of the proposed map in front of you guys? And I can put the parcel viewer up, or is that,
I like the idea of that.
or I've got
Is
the,
that easy?
we can get the current zoning map and the paper side by
I
side.
think we need both so that while
Yeah.
we're looking at
Yeah, I
parcel
can
viewer,
hear
we then, or maybe it's that someone else has parcel viewer and then we can make changes.
I like the hard copy like this, you can see whatever. I'm
Yeah,
looking
I don't
at.
know, yeah, however you guys want to do it, because I can look on my computer at.
and then
both.
we're gonna be making updates. to
What I'm
new
gonna do
maps.
is on the list of parcels, I'm gonna make a third column. I have the full list of all the parcels that we've rezoned. I'm gonna we have the current, the proposed change, and then I'm gonna just add a third column, which I'll just indicate what the zoning is going to be as of today. Meaning it'll either be the original, or it'll be the new, or maybe there's a possibility that we come up with it doesn't have to be an either or thing. It could be.
I mean, I also have the maps, I have what the current zoning is and what was proposed as overlaid that we could toggle back and forth.
Do you want to log in and share?
Do that. You wanna, where's the, is it in the agenda?
It isn't,
No.
no, it's not.
Here, I'll just put, you can grab the
Um,
meeting ID off of. If you look up.
So this
If you
is,
look up at the screen.
and unfortunately, I didn't bring the boards, so you're gonna have to put something on the corner so it doesn't roll back up again. That's the proposed map.
We usually don't.
I can find,
that not?
I'm sure I can find paperweights if we need them. And, you want do you also want the current one?
Oh, thanks. Oh, wow, those are such cute paperweights.
Thank you, Tim.
Very festive.
I love spicy.
How fitting, spicy
I
mustard.
do too.
Do you want the current map as well?
Did you get it?
All right, listen, you guys are.
Or do you want to just reference, because we can tell you where we are and what.
Well, yeah, if you have the list up that has what it was previously while we're looking at it, I don't think I need to look at the old map as long as we have what the previous zoning was to reference.
Aaron, can you make Michael a co-host?
Yep.
And then,
Don't.
do you want me to, do you want to share parcel viewer, or do you want me to share parcel? That's, or what were you gonna share?
I can show you if you give me the share. Put it up.
I did. Well, Aaron's gonna make you a co-host.
I already.
Because the ZRC's map is not what we should work from, because we made other changes.
No, this is current zoning and then what,
Oh,
Tom sent me.
okay. And you can toggle back and forth between the
Yeah.
two easily. Great.
So I can figure out how to
And then
share.
Because the problem is, if I try to upload that map, the Adobe is so slow.
Mike, if you wanna just have parcel viewer on your computer.
I will.
And then we don't have to share it, you can just, like.
You got it. I will do that.
I think, I mean, hopefully. Like this is B, this is the current B. And then this is the proposed B.
Okay. So let's start, which end of town do we want to start? At Marbletown line?
Yeah.
So what are you showing right now? Current?
This is both, so I can change the color, that's current.
Oh, but you can only show one zone at a time.
No, I can.
Can you turn others on? I think it'd be better to turn them all on.
Let's see, I think these are A, Bs.
Oh, but the colors are,
I can change the colors to whatever.
yeah.
What do you want?
Do you want to try to match our zoning map colors?
I could, yeah.
Because that, otherwise we're gonna be constantly trying to go, which one is that?
Which do you want? Do you want the proposed ones to match the zoning colors, or do you want the old ones? the
Oh,
existing ones?
oh. What do people feel? This may be getting more complicated than we.
I think it's more complicated than it needs to be.
All right, I'm gonna receive.
I,
It could have been great.
Well.
No, it was gonna help. It was gonna help because it was gonna be a lot easier.
I have this, we can always pull it up. I'll
I'll tell you what, why don't you put the current zoning?
I'll set current
I was
zoning,
gonna say, why don't you do that?
so bear with me.
Okay. I think it is helpful.
What, Aaron?
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I like your pastel.
Beautiful.
I think it might be easier to look at it with the proposed, because this, while it's helpful for us to orient ourselves, it's really hard to parse out which parcels it is.
So why don't you change the proposed, Michael, to match those colors and leave the current whatever they are, and at least there's a difference. Does that make sense?
Sure. This one's kind of close.
I mean, within reason. They don't have to be exact.
Yeah, I don't know the exact.
Because the parcel viewer makes it pretty clear. I mean, if you want, I can share parcel viewer.
Yeah, share that
why
one.
don't we do that? Well, and we can start talking about one side.
Yep. Yeah. You may have to, I don't know. Where? Where can I share, where do I share from here? I'm not
Oh,
remember.
let's see what. Okay, so did you already press screen
I'm
share?
not.
Okay, and then you pick the one, yep.
Yeah. Okay, there we are.
Okay.
So at the Marbletown 209 area, that is the current zoning. And the red is 600 feet nominally. It changes a little based on some parcel lines, which you can't really see easily when this layer is turned on. But to give you a little background, Emily, way back in the day when the entire town was 1 acre zoning, which is in the late 1990s, the entire strip of 209 from Marbletown all the way to Woolworthing, 600 feet either side, was zoned commercial from start to finish, the entire thing. It was a little bit less based on where the parcel lines were in some places, but nominally it was 600 feet. The county was not happy with it. The town basically was not happy with it because the theory, if all those parcels were built out into commercial, we would have a wall-to-wall stretch of business for that entire distance, and we would essentially look somewhat like Ulster Avenue or Paramus, good analogy. So in 2009, when the town zoning was changed to a range of acreages, anywhere from a half acre in Hamlet up to the R5, 5 acre, we broke 209 up into pods of here's an area of business, here's an area of business, here's an area of business. In looking at it with this revision, we took another look at some of those areas and said, is this an appropriate area for business or not? We looked at how the land is being used, how it's not being used. There has been some people who were unhappy with that. And you can see on that map where we left some of it business and we changed others. So that's kind of what our decision is do we go back to this in this stretch? And we can go parcel by parcel. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing, but that's essentially the question is, do we revert back to that business area or do we follow what we did or somewhere in between? Does that give you a little bit of an overview?
Yes, I
And
appreciate it.
does anybody else feel that maybe you didn't say, or, said something, didn't say something that she should know? Because I know you weren't involved in the original map. So with that being said, let me turn off the municipal zoning for a moment so you can see the parcel lines. And I can toggle it back on and off. So right now, the municipal zoning is essentially that 600 feet, or it follows the parcel lines. Looking at that map, on the left side of 209, it follows the parcel lines. On the right side, which is a very large parcel, it follows the 600 feet. And I also want to show you the county agricultural district also covers many of those properties, which means that it has applied for it some time as an agricultural use. And what we had done with the municipal zoning is we made the front part the 600 feet business and left the balance of it the AR3, or actually it says the AG3 is the county ag district, not to be confused with our AR3 zoning district. So don't let that confuse you.
And then are any of these parcels ones that we received specific?
Yes. So the very first one, we did not, but I don't think we should just, if we're making changes, we shouldn't just limit them to ones we received.
Oh, I
complaints
agree.
about.
Yeah.
So this very first one, I don't know if you can see my cursor here. Here, let me highlight it. This very first one here, that is where the the Elm Rock Inn is. I mean, we can say the parcel what it is. We had zoned that, I believe,
AB3.
AB3, which is ag business, primarily because it's surrounded by ag property. Personally, I'm okay with changing this one to B. I'm okay with pretty much everything on that side of the 209 changing to B. Where I have the issues is across the street, because you can see the water. And to me, it just doesn't make sense to zone that side of the street business, because you can't, it's wetlands there. It's appropriate for agriculture, my opinion.
What's the benefit of changing it? What does B get?
B allows
Changing
more
uses?
uses that are available. There's
And lower density.
and lower density. So the AR3 zoning district, the green zoning district, is agricultural residential. And is a 3-acre density and doesn't allow as many commercial uses. It's much more restricted. But our goal as a town, of the town board, was to zone properties that are in the county agricultural district as agricultural uses. And the AB3 of the front part of it was kind of our give back. Now, did we do the front part AB3? I don't remember.
Not of that big one.
Okay.
Which one are you talking?
We're talking
326?
about
The big lot,
the one across from
The
the
one
one that's
across.
highlighted.
yeah, that one.
326.
Yeah, 326.
That all stayed.
That, we changed that just to A3 and the one next to it, and then we did the ones across from it we did AB.
So I'm gonna just, if you wanna look up, I'm gonna toggle on and off the zoning. So the lot, you can see it there, is the one that's highlighted. If you turn on the zoning, you can still see the water area underneath it. And also I could turn on the wetlands mapping.
That's my computer.
So if you see the wetlands mapping there, I mean, I just sort of feel strongly that that property, that one, I'm not talking about the one next to it, but that particular property, it's just not appropriate for business. The whole frontage of the road is all wetlands. You can't cross the wetlands. So how could you build a business there? Is my question. It's just not, it's not physically possible. Because you'd have to cross those wetlands with a driveway in order to act, because the wetlands are the entire length of the front of that parcel.
Yeah, it sounds fine to me to keep
Yeah.
it ag, that makes sense.
I know there was a lot of pushback about the
Has
property.
lower density than this. Is that what you're saying?
It does, it's 3 acres, and well, part of what's tricky in this conversation is, we have our schedule of uses as it is today, and then we have the schedule of uses as we are proposing.
Yeah, okay.
So, just high level, business has all, like, the most allowed uses. And the more like pollutant uses, for example, you can have a gas station in business, but nowhere else.
Except you couldn't do a gas station there anyway.
Because of the what? So there's like a lot, it's
I want a
retail,
moratorium with gas stations on too.
you can have the most uses and the highest impact uses are in the business. So, 209 is a great place for those uses. But what Mike's saying is like, someone couldn't actually, you like can't cross that water body.
That wetland, not just
In
where the
area
water
that
really is.
Business, it was just what, 600, what was the
It was approximately
600 feet back from the
Yeah.
road?
I think that that makes perfect sense in places where it's not viable to not.
Well, and that's why I would like to I would like to continue with what we proposed for that parcel. And I'm saying just that parcel of the front part that's red, that's business, making that entire parcel.
Just for a sec, could you put on the flood hazards? I'm sorry, Charlotte. No. I didn't interrupt you.
Yep. I don't know that the flood hazard is, oh, it is, even more so.
Okay, sorry.
There's the flood hazard. And there's the wetlands.
So that,
So that
Makes the
entire
density go down.
frontage is gone. You know, you just. Now, I don't deny that because the next parcel over is also owned by the same owner, there is a potential of access from that
That's true.
parcel.
That's
to
true.
the other one.
In my defense, that there's potential of access, even if it wasn't the parcel next door owned by the same owner, I think that them being right next to each other and that probably originally being one whole large parcel down
Yep.
that side of 209, I think that it should just stay the same.
I
the
just,
business
it's-
problem?
yeah,
I don't know.
I just still don't, even if it's access from there, you've still got wetlands, I mean,
Because we're,
Started on.
there's gonna be like 100-foot.
well, the other side, I think we're all gonna agree.
I mean, I understand the theory behind what you're proposing. You're saying the zoning should match the highest best use of the parcel.
Agreed, absolutely.
But we also know, like, a lot of the feedback, I mean, when we were going through this, it's the same thing with the PL10, right? Like, you can't possibly build on this parcel, so why not make it 10 acres? You can only put a house on one part of this parcel, therefore it should be PL10. Having those discussions one-on-one with the homeowners is going to be a challenge. It's going to continue to build a bad feeling about this process. And if the property itself is already limiting, maybe we just leave it alone.
That's what I'm,
Well,
yeah, that's,
okay.
they're already limited enough with this that I don't think that we know with the floodplains, even if we
Yeah.
rezone them, no matter what, that's all like maybe 2 acres that they have, no matter what zoning it is.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I feel though, I feel like it's our job to zone it with what's appropriate, not just what people want.
I'm
First.
not worried if there's an issue like environmentally, like if we can anticipate. If it's not a big deal, like they're not gonna be able to do it because there's some other kind of regulation in place, then fine, but I would be more thinking about. Is turning it into a certain thing, allowing them to do something that's going to be bad for that.
Well, and bear in mind, if down the road, they come up with the perfect idea that fits there, they can petition the town board, whoever that may be at that moment, to rezone that property as part of that application. And that does happen occasionally. I mean, I think we shouldn't, I believe we should err to the side of the environment and the reality as opposed to we're kind of in the situation we're in because some people, certain people were last time were people who complained were listened to and changed last time. I mean, I've always felt, and the county also, this was one of the few places in our mapping that the county called us out and they congratulated us for doing, because what I'm proposing that, or what we did propose was what the county said we should have done back in 2009, and it was ignored and overridden. So I just feel like we have an obligation for environmental reasons to do this.
My concern is similar to Emily's, which is I hear the access, there is a portion that's in business that you could put, I don't know how much acreage that is. But potentially, there is a potential to put a business
Yeah.
use in that part. However,
50-acre parcel.
no, it's not all business though. If you turn on the business layer,
Oh,
it's just, we're
Right.
just talking
It's not a
about,
50-acre parcel, it's 600 feet.
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. No, I
So
see.
I'm just saying there's gonna be a setback from the wetlands.
Right.
And then, so that, I don't know how much acreage that is. And then what are we, in terms of the vicinity to the wetlands and to the floodway, we're talking about gasoline filling station, I mean, it's just that potential with the proximity to the water body. So I'm just saying in terms of what we're thinking about, what we're allowing, that's just the considerations and the consequences of like saying, yes, you can do all this stuff. If it doesn't require site plan review, then it means it can just like happen. If it does require site plan review, then the planning board might be like, no,
Well,
you can't do this.
within wetlands borders and stuff, even if it didn't require site plan review,
Yeah.
the DEC would be involved. But I feel it's our job to zone it appropriately based on the environment and the needs, of the community, and to leave this parcel available for business. I'm fine with the other ones, the ones across the street, the one next to it. But this particular parcel, it just, yes, you could gain access across another parcel, but that adds another whole situation to it.
Also, just generally speaking, I think it's easier to do something like broadly and neutrally than on a case by case. It feels a lot more targeted if like down the line, we wanted to try to restrict someone's business that was being built there rather than right now preemptively just saying no one's business can go right here.
Well, the reason, but with the wetlands, and it just occurred to me too, the state is in the process, as of January 1 of 25, there's gonna be a whole new wetlands rule. The current, what is
Yeah.
the current acreage, 16, no,
Um,
12.4 is the current
going up.
acreage, no.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's going down.
Going
More,
down
right, more
considerably. And in special circumstances, they're partnering with Cornell to get much better maps available. And things like vernal pools and things like that will be classified as areas of significance that are under the acreage. And this property already has a history of the wetlands being altered because of things that were done on that property. And there were.
Can we just maybe switch over right now to things we do all
Sure.
agree on? And
Sure.
if
Yeah.
I wanna, maybe what we can do is move on and I'll write down this SBL number at the end. We'll
Yep.
come back and.
I'm fine with that.
make a
I'm fine with
decision.
that, but it's, and this is one of the few that I believe really strongly. And that it shouldn't change. And the others, like I said, I'm just 1 in 5. If you guys
Yeah,
want it,
I think restricting is already hard to work with lot that there's an active agriculture business on. To make it so they could, even if it's only like so many feet that they're able to use in that. Because of the floodplain and the water base, why would we restrict some, make it harder for our agriculture businesses when that's what this
Then-
town
Well,
is?
then let's make it AB3. Then instead of B, let's make it AB3, which is what the AB3 is supposed to
Would
do.
be more
That sounds.
inclined.
I'm okay with that.
B3, but yeah, I don't think we should take the business out of this. I think that
Okay.
changing it to AR3 is way too, it seems,
It's
it's from
too-
I know that it's not actually like within the uses very far off, but I think as a broader picture looking at it, AB where it's still agro business
I'm
zone
fine with
is a
that.
much better.
Because you can't do a gas
Approach
station,
to
you
it.
can't do,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if we're gonna like be in a big back and forth with business or residential, I think it should just go to AB3, that's what it is, it's agro business.
I can support that.
Yeah.
If we wanna change that parcel, the front part that's B to AB3, the rest stays as is.
Can we, do you have the,
I want to.
schedule?
I
Yeah. I mean, we did limit a lot more uses in the AB3, but it's basically the AB3 is businesses where the structure is 4,000 square feet or less. They're smaller, less intensive types of businesses.
You may only be able to do it 4,000 square foot.
That's what I mean,
Agreed.
like if that's all we're
Agreed.
able to give them, why not let them have that little bit of a.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that middle ground.
For if they want, if they make an agreement, I know that they own the same owners next door, but if the other parcel got sold, like they can always make an agreement that they can have the farm stand on there, but like, we don't know what would happen, so I think that just to be able to just still support their business to expand and grow there. If we're gonna change it, AB3 is the best way to go.
I'm fine with that.
That's great.
I mean, preserving some of the business use is preferable than going.
Yeah.
agree with Charlotte.
Okay,
I still think if we do that, like, if we try to align every parcel and have the explanation of somebody be like, oh, but you can't actually put 5 houses there. Because in their minds, they're like, well, it's 25 acres, aren't fine,
Right.
I can put 5 houses.
Well, and
But
that's-
only put 2.
and that's why, but also that's why I think part of our job is to zone it appropriately for what can actually happen there. And the AB3 is a great middle solution.
I just don't want the entirety of the project to get painted with a brush because.
No,
And we're gonna do this for every parcel, and this is only the first parcel.
no, but we're not gonna do this for every parcel because there, many of them are gonna be in others, we can do a broad brush stroke. When we get down to the Hamlet section of 209, we can all agree, we took a shot and, it was pushed back on and we all will accept that and move on. At least I will, and I think Michael said anything. What?
What?
I still think it's fine. I think when you look at Hamlet compared to. Pittsburgh.
I know,
Yeah, and now
I
it's
know.
a curveball.
I
Who
know,
knows?
but these, I just having done this mapping type of thing now 4 times in the town, these are hard discussions. These are hard discussions to have, but it's, you know, our job is to look at the environmental portion as part of the discussion. So, you want us to wait for you, Erin, or?
Yeah, I would love
My
to see what
computer
each one of
is
these
broken.
Okay,
Yeah, I just wanted to, I didn't have in my head what the difference between A3 and AB3 were.
do you want me to put the new chart up,
And we
Michael?
do
That's
have,
what I
I'm looking at it.
Here, why don't I just put it up in parcel view, and share the
Okay,
screen.
so we do have a lot, that's allowed, it doesn't require a special use permit in AB3, but there's a lot more business uses.
Yeah.
That's
All
reasonable.
ag related businesses are part of A3. But you could have like a restaurant, a tavern, seasonal lodging, there's other uses that.
You can do like small engine repair, that kind of stuff. And actually, what was said to us was a welding shop, which you could do in AB3. Okay. So it's just 4,000 square feet or less, but based on the footprint and the wetlands, you're not gonna get much more than that once you get parking and setbacks.
And the rest of the parcel is not changing. It's
Staying just like it is. The rest of the parcel is all ag, that's where all that farmland is.
Okay.
Being used as farmland.
a good compromise.
Yeah. Okay, are you not worried about the schedule then?
I think we should have it in case we.
I agree.
Okay, let me at least open it up and I'll have it in the back.
I didn't think it was.
I had my maps ready too, but if this is working, let's do it.
Do you want me to share that?
You can click back and forth, but you
Yeah.
keep the color schemes.
I did.
Not all that red, so you can go with that
It's
palette.
the same red. It's the same exact red.
Okay, so Michael, there's the schedule. Zoom in on it.
Oh, sorry, and yeah, and then I wanted, is there a place I can find a list of what definitions for those?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just in the code.
It's all in the code. Yeah, it's,
We
Yeah.
can look at it on Sunday. so
Oh,
you can-
okay.
yeah.
If you, but if you,
We're not
you
voting
can,
on
you can
anything.
pull it up right.
We're not voting on anything tonight. We're just, we're making proposal changes and we're not gonna, we won't be voting on anything for quite a while.
So good. You can-
So if you look at the AB3 versus the business, actually, there's not all that much different.
There's more in some cases, maybe 3.
There are more business than the other, but yeah.
They're allowed it in either.
It's A3 they're allowed.
In A3, they're allowed, but not in AB3, because AB3 is only, it's not enough property to do an intersection. 600 in most cases.
I was just only thinking from the agriculture side, why it didn't make sense, not the actual acre side of.
Right.
I.
It's too small an acreage area. the things you can't do bulk fuel storage, which we wouldn't want there anyway. You can't do a campground or RV park. You're not gonna do that in 600 feet of frontage.
I think it's fine, I think we can move with a good.
Can you do camps?
Not in.
Or that's
AB3.
different from camp?
That's different. There's camp overnight, camp seasonal. You can't do them in either.
I mean, those shouldn't be on 209 anyway.
Right.
Sounds dangerous.
But you can do the cannabis, which is
You
good.
can do all the cannabis.
Um,
You can do. You can't do a convenience market in the AB3. It's definitely not appropriate for it to be a convenience market. Convenience markets are gonna bring.
No,
down-
no, I'm fine with us
Yeah.
changing it, I was just looking at that one. just caught my
You
eye.
can't do a distribution facility, like a warehouse distribution facility. You can't do education and conference center. You know, the uses you can't do all are gonna need more than 600 feet anyway.
So I think that.
All right.
our
Okay,
compromise
so is
fine.
everybody okay with that?
That sounds great.
So let's go back to the map. It is working, beautiful. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull up the Excel sheet. What was the SBL of that one that we just changed?
6.4-2-1.326.
6.4? It can't be
6.9.
6.9.
You definitely do. it, right?
Sorry, Aaron.
6.9.4.
Good correction.
It's the 326. Okay, so we're gonna go AB3 / A3.
And then the others around it, we're gonna revert back to B, is that what we were talking about?
I'm okay with that. So the others surrounding it are, I'm just gonna turn off.
Everything that went to AB3 is gonna go back to B.
Yeah.
And those parcels are,
The one that has, well,
are you able to follow along and give me SBLs, Michael, or just so I can make sure I'm getting the right ones?
Yeah, which ones do you want?
Any of the ones we're changing, I just want to make sure I find them.
As long as the data from the county is right.
Yep.
So
These were business before, right? And we were changing them to AB3.
we proposed changing them to AB3. I think we're proposing leaving them as business.
Correct. I just want to make sure I'm notating which ones.
Tell me when you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
So it's 69.4-2-1.320.
320.
Same first part, .328. Is the next one down.
Yep.
The next one down is .315.
315. Got it. And then we also had
And then
315. Oh, that's one we just did. 316 is another one. We were changing 316 from B to A3.
let's see which one is that. There's another two that run. Oh, it's Kaiserite. There's the ones on Kaiserite.
Where's the 316? I see the 316.
What did we change guys are into? They were.
They went to AB3.
from B.
This
With the
one
corner?
here, the 69.4-2-1.100 is gonna stay B,
And then .200.
and .200 is gonna stay B. I think the ones, as we go down Kaiserite, should probably,
I want a reminder of what we changed, I know that it's my house, but I don't remember what we changed, is one of them, I don't remember.
some of those we changed from
Maybe we changed you to our.
yeah,
That side of the street.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
we did, but
But
let's,
it was.
can,
three.
before we get too far ahead, I wanna just work property by property. I know it's really slow going, but this is what it's gonna take to do it right, so.
Sorry, and I have an idea. for the appeal. Hmm? What's the thing? Everything's in these.
Okay. Well, actually, I can, on those along 209, I can catch up later, so how far did we go past Kaiserreich with the changes?
It's like to 69.3-3-16. There's like a really thin one. A sliver next to the school. Oh, is that the school right there?
Are you on 209?
No, we want to be on 209.
Oh, Kaiser.
No, I'm on 209.
We got stuck, but we're back on 209.
Oh, good. I'm like getting back to, which ones are you asking about? Going past Kaiserreich along to one?
Like,
Yeah.
where did we make changes?
So up to, from
Winfield.
the Marbletown line to Winfield Corners Road,
We're keeping all of
we're
that
keeping all that
business
as is.
As of is currently.
Right, as is current. We're not
Changing that.
we're not changing those, and we're leaving. I think if we stay along 209 for the moment and not veer up or down the side roads, it's gonna be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So we're gonna leave everything as is current. The only thing we're changing is this parcel where my cursor is, the big lot, what's got the wetlands on it, that's gonna go from B to AB3,
Okay,
correct? Are we all in agreement in that?
that's my understanding.
That's my understanding too.
I mean, I prefer it not change, but I'm compromised.
I'm also.
No, it's okay.
I think we all are. Yeah, I think everyone's gonna compromise.
We're all compromising. Yeah, and I'm,
You might be compromised.
it still allows a lot of uses there, but it doesn't allow the more intensive uses. That was my concern. So then moving on to these other business zones. You guys have the map, you can, because some of them we've zoned to R1. This is where, Michael, I don't know if you can toggle back and forth and
Yeah,
tell
I
us.
can. You want me to share again?
Yeah.
It's up to you. I mean, I don't know if your share is more effective than mine or not.
Let's look at it again.
Okay. So do I have to stop sharing, I
I'll
guess?
steal from you. I'm
Okay.
a co-host.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
All right, Kaiserreich is here.
Yeah, actually, well, I'm talking about 209.
Yeah, so this is, I'm just orienting. This is
Yep.
209. So these two we propose to keep business.
Right,
So the brown was the existing business. We proposed to keep these two business, and then all of this, I think, changed to R1. We proposed changing this to R1.
right.
So we could,
If we want to just stay with the business as is, I'm fine.
yeah, along this corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Because that was pretty much, so that went all the way down to the Pine Ridge Road.
Yep. No, it didn't go all the way to Pine Ridge.
Well, this was staying.
Let me steal back from you. Kicking you out.
This is gonna be a struggle.
No,
Fight you for it.
I know you will.
Which one is this?
This is the existing zoning.
Yeah,
So we didn't,
but that one,
Yeah, that's Pine Ridge Road at the bottom of that business district.
this,
it is.
oh.
Oh, yeah, up to Pine Ridge, okay. Because then that other property, the one next to the tire shop, is past Pine Ridge.
Mhm.
Because that's one that we need to talk about whether we want to revert
was
it
changed
back.
before, we didn't.
We didn't change it, it was changed in '09.
I do think we should.
I'm okay with.
Where on 209 is it?
It's right at, you know, the tire shop on 209, I know.
Oh,
Going,
yeah.
like, if
So-
you're going from the school down this
Past
way. on-
Samsonville?
So Emily, if you look up on there, this property right here. Let me turn
Other
off
side of town, other side of town.
map layers. This is up, if you're going toward Marbletown, there's that little plaza where there's the furniture place there,
Yeah.
everything. So the property that's highlighted right now is where the tire shop is.
Oh,
Gene's Tire Shop.
okay.
This property right next to it. At one time, these two parcels were one parcel, the tire shop and the one next to it. When they built the tire shop, they subdivided and split these two off. This parcel that's highlighted now, next to the tire shop, in 2009 was rezoned residential because it's vacant and everything from the tire shop down is mostly residential uses. They were not aware of it and they discovered it when they came.
Cause they didn't get a letter.
Because
that theirs was being
back in
changed.
09, every parcel in the entire town was rezoned in '09, so nobody got letters. Because the entire town was, because it was a change from 1 acre zoning to a whole new system. So there were lengthy meetings, but they were not aware for whatever reason. They've now asked that it be rezoned back to business.
And what's the one next to it?
What do you mean, what's the one next to it?
The one continuing down, west.
West.
Uh,
The one
south.
below it here?
Yeah, I mean, maybe that should be business too, was that also?
That's,
No,
no,
that was
that's a
the house.
residence, and it's actually, was owned by the county of Ulster. That's that house that's I don't wanna say names, but the owner passed away and it's practically falling down. The county took the property for taxes, but it is absolutely appropriate to be residential, cause it's the start of that whole stretch of residential.
Yeah,
Is
there's
the
a
house
that is-
salvageable?
Because
maybe-
to be determined.
Maybe it could be taken down.
It could be taken down, but it also,
Okay, we could-
likely if the county owns it, they are gonna replace it with residential. They are not gonna replace it with business.
All right.
Would you agree with that statement? If the county sells that property to somebody, Charlotte?
I'm just trying to pick, I drive past there every day and I know they just put a house up there. Is it the parcel over that they just? put the
No,
house
I
over?
don't wanna say names,
Yeah.
but it's
You know, that it's like diagonal
the
from.
one that had a lot of cars around
Yeah,
it.
okay.
It is
So the other one is
residential.
still there. I just-
Put on like the satellite view too.
Oh,
if
yeah, that would
helps
be-
us.
yeah, that
We
would be
could
much
see, but, sometimes that
That would be
helps us.
Okay,
We can do that.
Sorry, yeah, the
that.
lines mess me up when I'm trying to like.
Yep.
Picture
let
how
me do that. Let me
much
turn
you
on.
can see people's houses from the road. That's all I base it
There
on.
you go.
Here you go.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Does that help you?
Yes, yeah, I was.
So
thinking-
see the
I
lot
think I
next
was
to it
thinking
is
was, like,
vacant?
further down.
Yeah, the lot next to it is vacant. This is the auto shop, the tire place. The lot next to it is totally vacant. And then starts the stretch of. It's across from the Stonehouse Tavern roughly. And a little bit further toward, this right here is the Stonehouse. Where my cursor is.
Councilman Paddock?
Councilman Paddock is, you know,
Yes.
yeah.
Just wondering if it's on the satellite view.
Yeah, I think that that's a good split for us to change it to residential where that
Yeah,
one is. I think we
and that's what it
leave
currently is.
Yeah, I think we leave it currently, and if someone buys it and doesn't wanna
Yeah.
redo a house there, we can apply for.
So
it.
dot
But
120 is gonna
There's a
go.
house,
So we're gonna change that one though, which
the one that
is,
was residential to.
6-9.
yeah, and I'm just gonna add it to the list.
We just, we zoomed past all this.
Past all
Are
what?
we just talking about the business? Cause
We said we're gonna revert all that.
Yes, we're just talking about the business.
We're just talking about 209
Business
corridor.
this parcel we. But we're gonna
Limit-
change that back. I see. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just getting confused because I think we changed this to R5, but it's, okay.
Well, no, if you think
That,
we need to.
I'm confused because I'm like, this weird, I've been trying to find what this weird looking parcel is.
I can't see what you're
That-
pointing to.
Oh, the flag
It looked
lot?
like the size of a
It's a
sofa.
flag lot and it was business and AR3, I think.
Mhm.
And I
Where-
think we changed it to R5.
Where are you talking, Aaron? And let me go back to it.
It is, I think, I'm
It's
like,
behind,
yeah.
it's,
Just-
and like it goes behind. Yes, yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
Which one?
69.3-3-9.200.
It's a little flag like lot off, coming off 209. You have to go up more.
Oh, I see it. Is it the one I just highlighted?
No, keep going up 209 toward Marble.
Oh,
It's right-
that
That
flag
one,
lot.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think I'm just.
we didn't change that.
Did we change it? Can you toggle your?
I can tell you if we changed.
Yeah, it looks like we did. At least the back part of it. What did we change it to? Yeah, we changed it to proposed, changing it to R5.
I just wanted to make sure that we knew that, are we changing that back to what it was, or are we keeping it R5? That's all I wanted to.
What's the parcel ID?
69.3-3-25.300. It's business, but we changed it to R5 because it's not really.
Right.
on 209.
I believe we should change it to R5.
I remember us talking about that a lot, which is
Would
why I
you
was
agree with
like-
that, Charlotte? Because it's not on 209.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, I like looking from the aerial photos, so I'm just gonna try to follow along with the
Okay.
aerials here.
I mean, I can turn them back
So
on.
I can know.
Yeah, I can turn it back on. That's easy enough. There you go.
Should do this one.
Oh, it looks like it's done.
It's the one that's highlighted. It's basically behind the little sort of strip mall there.
It's a residence. Though.
It is a residence now. I think when this is the 2021 aerial on the county parcel viewer, and I think since then there's been a home built.
Yeah, I think that R5 is fine.
So that one is gonna stay R5.
No, it's gonna go R5.
Yeah, stay meaning.
Stay.
Yeah,
Stay.
yeah.
what we proposed. And that is,
System two.
Stay or revert, that's what I'm gonna be using. So
Lots of
revert back.
expansion.
And were there other things that were not just changing over to business that we glossed over, or was that the?
We haven't looked at the north side of 209.
Right.
There was a bunch of stuff that.
yeah, we should go back and now go down that.
Oh, I see. I missed that. I thought we were down very far,
No, we.
and I was like,
No,
what
we-
about this?
We only went as far as, on that side of 209, we only went as far as the Whitelands Road. We haven't gone
Okay,
past.
I'm
it
sorry.
yet.
Did I-
No, that's okay. I know, it's confusing.
I spend most of my time trying to figure out where.
That's why I like. Oh, yeah. If I see, for some reason, if I see like the driveway and like on the size of the house, I'm like, I can picture it from.
Okay,
So we're just looking at the other side of the right now.
for the moment.
Oh,
yeah. And then,
Okay, sorry.
it's okay. It's okay, we're all on the same page. It's just,
Wow.
sort of. Okay, so let me turn on the zoning. ordinance. So these other businesses, though, we're gonna leave as business on that side of the 209. Right? Everybody's in agreement on that? Okay.
Were there other?
And then
Yeah.
and I don't think there were any other changes on that side of 209, once we got past the Pine Ridge.
Were
Road.
we changing any R3 to residential there?
I don't think so, not those big lots. The ones we were changing were further up Kaiserreich, but
Okay.
I'm trying to keep us oriented
Yeah,
so
yeah.
because if we start moving up and down the roads, I think. we're
Yeah,
gonna-
I don't wanna move,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this now and I'm trying to figure out. I'm like looking between the two, so I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that I understood what we were. Okay,
So all that business is gonna stay business. And we're changing this one business here, the AB3. Now, why don't we go to the other side of 209? And that stretch is more residential currently. I mean, the current use. Let me turn it off and turn on
Where are
the,
you after Kaiserreich?
after, not Kaiserreich, it's after wetlands.
Oh,
Because Kaiserreich is only on one side of it. I'm right in here, Michael. So let me turn the zoning off for a moment and turn on the base maps. If you look, there's all primarily residential. Other than,
south, you're talking west
Uh,
of Winfield? I think it's way over.
west, east and west confuses me only because it's hard to tell for me what that actually means.
Below Winfield?
Yes, I'm talking, starting right in here, where my cursor is. Winfield Corners Road,
so we
moving down.
made all of that.
That's not business, that's AB3, right?
No, this right here. Oh, it is AB3.
Yeah, they must have combined AB.
Oh, you know what? The county uses red for both. Oh,
Map,
good catch.
I got a map.
Good
But
catch.
we changed all that to A3
Yes,
in our proposal.
yes, except for two of them.
Yeah.
Now, so actually, yeah, but that is the question is, the ones that were AB3, we want to leave them as AB3 or do we want to go to business?
Do you remember why they were AB3?
Yeah, they were AB3 because they were looked at as it was appropriate for smaller businesses.
I think that's all in. We changed it to A3, so I'm trying to figure out. why we-
Let me go grab the zoning map off.
I think it should be AB3.
I think it should as well, which is what it is currently.
And then there were
We were
two
trying to
that
make
went
it
to
more
R.
restrictive.
I don't know why.
AB3 would be less restrictive.
No, we changed it to A3, which is more restrictive.
Right.
It is AB3 currently.
And I was saying it should be AB3, the less restrictive one.
AB, yes, it should stay AB3. I
Yes,
agree
it
with
should
that.
stay.
Yeah, I mean, it's 209, that's where the business is.
Yeah, exactly.
Those two little ones we proposed putting in R1.
Because
Because there's houses.
I don't think that they're 3 acres, so if you're zoning them, if you're keeping them.
What's gonna be the easiest way? Put this out there.
No roof.
Trying to get it in the same sort of angle as.
We're out of mustard.
Sorry, Michael.
Don't worry, turn the other way.
Here,
Need that.
put all your stuff there. Oh. Oh, why don't you just lift up your computer? There we go, because it doesn't matter if you're on that corner. So the light green on this map is AB3, so that whole stretch is currently AB3. And I apologize, the county map was confusing because it was all red.
So
So the question is, do we want to change it? What did we change it to in that map? A3.
And then the two little ones, we changed to
R1.
Do we want to just keep that whole
Keep it.
section as is on this map?
In my opinion, yes.
Keep it as AB3.
Unless there's a reason.
Well, keep
factual of why it was changed.
keep the business AB3, that 209 section.
Yeah, let's say.
Just keep all that the same. Yep, from the red through the light green to the end of the red.
Were you able to find, Aaron, why
Yeah,
you guys switched
those
it?
small ones are less, well.
We
the-
switched them because they
They're
were
1
just so small, they're 1 acre,
And I
and they're
think
clearly residential.
they have houses on them, so.
Are people allowed to be residential in AB3?
Yeah, you can be residential anywhere,
Great.
there's no reason.
It's just.
The AB3 allows the possibility that that residence could become a business if somebody were to move out and somebody could take that residence and convert it to a business.
Okay.
Sounds like there's no problem there.
So we're gonna leave that as is, and the only two changes then that we're gonna make are the one that we're changing to AB3 at the Marbletown line, and then the big one that we are gonna make to R5.
And
Otherwise,
also.
and then the
and-
one next to Gene's
The
Tire.
one that, yeah,
Yeah.
that was mistake, that
Yeah.
was changed
Yep.
previous, they wanted to be changed to house.
So we're keeping this as is with those three changes.
Disagree, Aaron?
I just don't think there's a reason not to change those to R1. They're not in an ag district, they're not farmland, they're not agricultural, they're not business. So that's all.
The only reason I would
Like, I
say,
mean, if you guys wanna leave them on.
What number are they, Mike? The two little one.
it's these two little ones here, is it the 69.3-2-7 and 8? The only reason not to, Aaron, is you're gonna have AB3, and then you're gonna have these two R1 properties kind of in the middle of nowhere by themselves.
Yeah,
There's no
They
reason
just-
not to change them,
Yeah.
because Aaron's probably realistic, it's not gonna be a business.
unless someone were to like do a lot line improvement and combine a bunch of parcels.
You want me,
they
here,
can't
Charlotte, if you look on,
business
I'm
Unless
gonna,
we change them to business.
it's these two properties right here.
Could change them to business, it's business.
They're the ones directly across from the storage units.
Oh, okay, oh, so.
Not a
I,
bad idea.
I would agree with you, Aaron, that actually leaving them AB3 doesn't make any sense because they are not agricultural. The property's not
The one's
agricultural.
already a business, that was not.
She just said you could zone a business.
No, neither one is a business. They're both
So you could zone
residential.
it. The resident
Is
can
that,
stay, the residential use can stay, and then if somebody wants to open a business. in the future-
I'm looking at the assessor's uses. They're both one-family residences. Neither one is a business.
But if they wanted to become a business in the future, they could.
Correct,
Own Business.
correct.
Otherwise, we would zone them R1. Because they're less than an acre or they're.
They're one.
No, it's further down. You're not far enough down on, the dog kennel's not across from the storage units, it's further down. The dog kennel is the next property over, actually.
oh, okay, that's what it is, that's why.
I feel like in that case, why wouldn't we just keep it the same? Because I understand it's not agricultural as how we're defining it, but it is on a road with a bunch of agricultural lots, and it's already what they have and are living in. And it still applies that if they want to change in the future and have a business, they can.
Right, but
It's not a
the,
gas station.
no, but the eight, I see what Aaron's saying. The AB3 is sort of specifically, agricultural.
I thought we said they could do like a.
They can.
Shop. or
But the rationale between creating the AB3 properties is, it is, land that was potentially agricultural, that they could use the front part of their property as a business. Whereas this is a standalone property that's not, it's not part of a bigger parcel. Like if you,
I, no,
you
I
work your way
understand
down,
that part,
yeah.
but I just feel like
My
Neither
point-
one
it doesn't make sense to make it
Perfect.
AB3B,
Well, but it is that.
Well, what, it is that currently,
So
my
just leave
point
it.
is.
but that
it's
doesn't
3
mean
acres zone.
it's
So
correct.
you really can't change the use without a significant variance.
Right. Oh, there, that's true
That's
too.
all I'm, the point,
Yeah.
that's the point I'm making. It's just that they are 1 acre lots and we haven't, if everyone keeps saying, oh, AB3 gives them more options, but in this specific
It doesn't.
case, it does not. They can't do anything. So if we changed it to R1, they have a bunch of stuff they
Yeah,
could do.
They don't have as many
Yeah,
variances.
That's all, that's
Yeah.
the point I was, that's the point I was making was just that if they're less than 3 acres, we've been having this conversation about these non-conforming lots. And we were having a conversation about all the options it would open up with AB3, and it just doesn't open up options for them because they're 1 acre lots.
Because they need 3 acres in order to do a use in AB3.
And that's, I think.
So we
why-
either make it R1 or we make it business. one or
That's
the
why
other.
we made this.
These aren't the properties that we
I
got
think,
an earful about in the,
These
No.
were not business changing over to residential. These were
Those are
AB3
public.
changing.
These were AB3 changing to R1. And neither one of these, the ones we, as you said, got an earful are across the street.
okay, so.
I don't know, I don't have the list.
No, we didn't hear from these property owners.
Okay, so then it's like
So are we making them B or are we making them R1?
I
getting
can,
R1. Sorry, go.
I know it's okay. I personally, residential, since they're already used as residential is allowed there. I think 1 acre there for adding, having a business on only 1 acre, I would prefer business because that gives it an option for if it wants to. But I understand staying with the R1 and wanting to be more restrictive with it. I get
Well,
it.
the R1 is fits what's there.
Yeah, I get
The
that.
business, if somebody wants to make a business, they simply have to apply to convert a residence to a business. And they would just, and with that, they would, whoever the town board was at that moment would consider whether to rezone it or not.
Yeah, or there are businesses allowed.
And there are not, actually, there are a number of small businesses already allowed to.
You got a restaurant.
Yeah.
Retail
Yeah.
service establishment.
Because R1 is neighborhood residential. Okay.
Spa.
Retail store?
Yeah, that's really what I just like in the small store or something
Yeah.
like that, wanting to open or like.
Yeah. Because bigger
Have
types
like
of
a
businesses
groomer,
aren't
is it a
gonna,
house
they're not
or
gonna fit on there any.
Yeah, I was only thinking like how like the pet groomer at the corner of Kaiser and too, and like I like it's in a residential house that is a business, like. And it's
But you
not
can
an
do that in the
acre, but
R1.
You can do it in the R1, so. You got any districts?
So we're adding flexibility
Yes, yeah.
to the parcel.
Yeah. So this first parcel, though, the big one that I have highlighted now, what,
So you got those SBLs?
yeah, I do, but I just want to be clear, what are we doing with the one I have highlighted there, the 100, the one at the corner?
We're leaving it AR3,
Is it AR3 right now?
yes,
Okay,
the part of it is,
the whole property is,
or the whole property is,
okay, so that's staying AR3,
AB3.
AB3, I'm sorry. That's the .100. I just want to get the 63, can somebody read me, can you read me the SBL, Michael?
The small ones?
No, the big one
The
first.
big one on the corner is 69.3.
Let me find it. Okay, 69.3.
-2-6.100.
2-6, that would be, wait a minute, please. Oh, there it is. See, I have that it was B, was it AB3? What is it on our?
No, it was AR3. Oh, no, wait. It was AB3.
It was AB3.
County parcel viewer has it as AR.
Don't necessarily believe.
Okay,
what-
just,
Yeah,
I
AB3.
had it.
has it as AR3?
AB3.
It has it as AB3.
AB3 is what I have it as existing though.
That was probably my typo then, because I had it as B.
It might be the color issue, like,
It might be, I may have, yeah. So we're gonna leave that one as AB3. And then the two next to it are which ones?
69.3-2-7. And then -8.
2-7. And they were currently,
They're AB3 and we're gonna go R1. Which I think is what we, yeah,
That
which
was
is
what
what
we-
we proposed.
right.
Yeah.
I'm just making a new column on all these since we did. Okay, so that's those three parcels. And then continuing on. The big one, actually, the one that was yeah, the big one here, the 6, that's the dog kennel, I think.
That
isn't it?
is, yeah.
-3, the one that's,
Yeah. And what were we,
that was proposed to go A3.
and what is it currently?
Currently is AR3.
And,
Well,
reason
AR3 and A3 are the same.
um,
We're getting rid of the R, so they're staying the same.
Proposed to stay the same.
Proposed to stay the same.
This one, AB3. It's 9.3 acres. Should we make it AB3? Should be agro business?
Yeah, that's what
Something
we're-
has potential.
it's, the one we're looking at
Yeah.
is AB3, and we changed it, we're saying it should stay that.
Oh, I thought Michael just said.
What we proposed to change it to AR3, and we're saying
We're going
reject,
to reject it, okay.
Yeah. Reject change.
No, I had it as it was already AR3.
I don't think so.
We just make sure that it's AB3.
This,
Yeah.
we
It's
wanted,
According to parcel viewer, it's a,
We proposed it to be A3 and we're saying reject change.
it's the one right next to the little ones.
the rabbit teeth.
Oh, hang on, let me,
You're in the wrong place.
no, I'm in the right place.
Now, I do have a question too, when we're done with that, is there's a parcel behind the two little ones that is part of a bigger agricultural in the front of that, because it's in the 600 feet is business.
Right.
I don't think that, because that property doesn't have frontage on 209, I think that whole, my feeling is that whole parcel should be AR.
So you're saying, hold on, I have to turn it off.
You see where,
Instead of AB3?
Oh, yeah, you're saying the 69, it has frontage on the other side.
what do you mean it's frontage on the other side?
Its frontage is on the other side of the parcel we just looked at.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It
Yeah,
goes around
it goes around that square,
Oh, okay.
that big one.
Oh, it does, okay. Yeah, but still, does that make sense for that parcel, that little tiny bit of it to be? There, if you look up on the screen.
Yeah.
There it is. It's this piece right here.
Right.
That little bit. I mean, the front of it over here makes sense. Because that has frontage. But this piece over here being business, to me, doesn't make sense because in order to get there, you would have to drive all the way around the other parcel.
So what if they put a road that way?
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that feels like a them problem.
Yeah, that seems like a property owner's trying to figure out their.
Yeah,
business
I
not.
just feel like the business should be fronting
I mean, we
209.
change it to.
The only reason it's there is because it's in that 600-foot window.
Yeah, but if we change it to,
Well, it's no longer
Yeah.
because, well, I guess it's within the 600-foot window, but the part, if we're gonna have those be residential, there's gonna be R1 and then,
I think that we should change those to business then. For the, I think, me personally, because that would make a horseshoe for a business if they bought those frontal.
Yeah,
the bordering of it.
but they're used as single-family residences, so why are we gonna zone them business?
Mike, can
I
I
mean, we're
just,
talking about potential if somebody were to buy it, but it's, right now, it's a residence. People are living there as a residence. Why would we?
Yeah, well,
change
the first one we
business?
talked about is currently used as a farm. And you
Right.
were talking about, but you did a hypothetical if they were to build a business over the water, so it's the same thing that I'm.
No, the hypothetical was it's used as a farm. So that's why I wanted to leave it as zoned. You know,
You can leave them R1, we can move on.
yeah.
What
This is-
in the compromise?
No, what I'm trying to say is my proposal was to change it, but, and we did compromise, but that little tiny piece, I mean, it's, that little tiny piece, to go back to like what Aaron said too, that little tiny piece is not 3 acres.
Yeah, I was about to ask that,
Yeah.
so I don't know how it works when we split zone a property. I just
It's
did,
only the portion of the property, you would have to have 3 acres in the AB3 district.
yeah.
It's not the total acreage of the whole parcel.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's why it doesn't make sense. Because it's not 3 acres of property.
What are the options we're considering here?
Leave it or change it to what the zoning of the rest of the parcel.
What I'm suggesting is that this little piece here, Michael, if you look up on parcel,
It's AB3 currently and we're
I'm-
debating.
Okay, I,
making it AR3, which is what the rest of that parcel is. That's what I think we should.
And the next parcel over is AR3. Or, sorry, I think we proposed it, but it's gonna stay, the next parcel over is gonna stay AB.
Well, let's finish one before we start worrying. This one here,
But that's, this is part of the AR3 parcel, this is part of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
that's what I'm
That's
trying to
nice.
say. That little piece shouldn't be AB3.
Yeah,
That little piece should be A.
I agree.
The,
And and only partially because we've changed the 2 front lots.
is it possible to, there's part that does have frontage on 209. If you scooch down, you can see
You wanna see?
that part. Can we make it, because that's not 3 acres.
No, I would agree. I
Can
can
we
tell
make it a
you,
little bigger?
we can do whatever we want. The reason, it was all done at the 600 foot because it was
Yeah.
matching the existing
Yeah.
business district.
I was just thinking, maybe we just make that a little bigger if we can. I don't know how complicated that is.
Well, we could go back to,
Yeah,
this
that's
line
about
here.
3 acres. I have it at 2.9 if you make it flush.
if we, where my cursor is here, if we were to go, continue it straight across off
Yeah.
that and make that AB3, then yes,
Yeah,
that makes sense. The whole thing is a vacant lot, right? There's nothing.
but then they actually have potential to do something.
Right. Okay. So these two,
Yeah,
okay, so this piece here is gonna become AR3, and this piece here, we're gonna square it off, and that's all gonna be AB3. Got it. Okay, now moving on down. And what did we do with the big lot in between the two?
that's staying,
That's staying AB3.
I guess, 40 acres.
The big lot?
Yeah, the one where we were just talking about. is 40
It
acres.
is
39.
yes.
We're having it stay AR3 for that one that has.
And picking up the little pieces,
and making
picking up one.
its flag is gonna get bigger and stay AB3.
How you gonna note that one?
What?
How you gonna note that part?
That I'm gonna have to talk Tom through on the phone.
So you make it a little bigger?
Yeah. Let's say follow a straight line. Yeah. That one is just up here. But I'll remember that one. Okay. Okay, and then continuing on down, we're into AB3 as well. And we're gonna just continue those as AB3, right? That again is another 600 foot of frontage. this parcel here.
Yeah.
You're carrying it down as AB3 until you hit the business section.
Right. But there's so much road frontage there, that one makes a lot of sense to me. And then, so this will all stay as AB3. And then these are business. And those are, what are those properties? Let me turn on the base map. That one is across from the manufactured housing park. And that is, that's a one-family residence. And it's 5.7 acres. The one I have highlighted right now.
That rectangle.
Yeah. And if you look at the map wares,
Is that the first business one?
the whole parcel is actually, I don't know.
Yes.
Might want to look on the big map. I don't know if it's business or if it's AB3.
It's business and we propose that it stay business.
Yeah.
Okay,
That whole section.
Yeah. and then the one next to it,
It's business, we propose.
that's where the log yard is, one next to it.
Business, stay business. And then there's 4 more parcels that I think.
Right. Up through there's the log yard, then the one next to that is. That's manufactured housing.
But it's business.
But we're gonna make it business, yeah.
It's staying business.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, just to create a,
One of
you know,
So
yeah,
it should stay. But why is that business?
no, manufactured housing park you can do but she's asking, that's a single family home. So you could do that anywhere as residential.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, but the park you can
Yeah.
only do in business.
Correct.
R5.
Park is on the other
R2,
side of the
or
road.
A-
We've already left all that as business, but what Emily was asking is why leave it as business? It's more because when you have businesses sort of surrounding one residential property, it makes
Yeah.
sense to sort of zone the whole area business. You can do residential in business. And then we changed the one that was the stone house, we changed to business. Which was,
It's just the one.
The -16,
it's,
it's next to the, like, one that looks like a dog.
yeah,
There's one that's shaped like a dog.
just like a dog.
It's a dog. Heck yeah. Awesome. Dog.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's the one with the,
Yep, it's that one.
you know,
Doberman.
the Doberman thing. One of the house.
Confirmation.
I don't know what you guys.
So the last one that
The
was
dog
there was
park.
shaped like a stump. Tell me if we correct stump.
It's the rectangle 3 to the right of the solar panels.
So the stone house was AR3. And we agreed to change it, or was it R2? No, it was R2, low density residential. I don't know which one the dog is. Still haven't found the dog.
Charlotte and I agree.
No. So that whole stretch there is gonna stay as is, right? Except for the stone house. Cause that low density residential section is. It's here, Aaron, on this map, it's this. The big white part is the town's.
Yeah, I know what we're.
Yeah, so we're in this section.
Yeah.
So all that's gonna stay residential, but
Yeah,
except for the stone house. And is that what we did there? We
Yeah.
kept all that.
and then, yep.
I see it. Oh, thank you. I just disagree. Oh.
Well, we can take a vote, just.
It's okay.
We got 3.
Okay, I see it now, Michael.
There you go, 4.
I see it now. Is it the 2-20?
That one.
We could ask Tim what he thinks.
It's that one. 17, that one.
You may have stared at the map too long.
Yeah.
This is how.
Now we're just seeing mirages.
Fine, which is fine without that.
You can see though, that this is not an easy process doing all this. Oh, yeah, we agree.
The most fulfilling thing I've done since being on the town board.
Happy.
Not having a child is
Mm.
most fulfilling. Happy.
Okay.
Where are we at?
So where do we make the next changes on 209? Because there's putting the two comparison, because I don't think we do any until we get up to Lucas.
Yeah, all the, pink, I think. Oh, yeah, it looks like we took some AB3 away. Yeah,
AB3? No, there was no AB3 there.
So after that, we go mostly residential.
Oh, no, yeah, but I think before there. Here's Lucas. We gotta talk about that section of Lucas that we changed, but there was a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
It's this section,
It's
the section of business between Whitfield.
oh, yeah, those,
I think
Yeah.
that should just all be reversed.
yeah,
agree.
I think so.
Fair enough.
On to the next. Keep
What-
keep
what was
driving
it?
down.
B.
Remember the van was, oh,
They were all B. Now, some of those are, it's the gas station working their way.
Between airport and Whitfield.
Well, no, it's between
On the other
Whitfield,
side of-
it's not airport, it's not even close to.
So you went Whitfield, that, right by the Lucas one,
Yes.
Yes,
just all of this,
yeah.
and we're keeping all that big.
We're gonna go back to B. I mean, there are some that are strictly residences, and that's all they are, but
Yep, that's fine.
but whether it's B or whether it's, what did we change it to? R1, it's still 1 acre zoning.
What's the massive AR3 that runs along 209, big parcel there?
Show me. There, in between,
Yeah, which,
that's the seed company now.
is it?
Yeah, that's the property that they just purchased off.
Oh,
of
is that
Airport
where the
Road.
new road went in?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And that's all, that was all, it's in the ag district, it was all in conservation easement.
Yeah, I was just wondering why there's a lot of park.
Yeah,
Don't mess with the farmland, Michael.
But we didn't, but it doesn't have AB3 along the road.
no, but it's also not appropriate for AB3 because there really is no frontage there, there's not the ability to. We did AB3 where there was massive amounts of farmland that had,
You can't do a
Is
drive
there, is there a hill there?
there's a stream there, there's all kinds of things. You can't do a drive like that. It's,
No, you can't, you can't.
Oh, there's a big pond in the back.
yeah.
And it's under easement
Yeah.
now, so.
It was AR3, it should stay AR.
No, I just wanted to understand what it was.
Yeah.
but I get
Yeah, yeah.
Just trying to orient.
We didn't do AB3 everywhere on 209 back in 09 because some places it didn't make sense. This was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so now moving down,
So we're at Whitfield.
we're at Whitfield and I think we've agreed we're gonna just revert it back to the existing with no changes.
And most of that was proposed to stay business anyway, except for that cluster that we're.
Was that cluster on that side of the road because many of them are residential.
So you have all those SBLs?
The fact that it's just staying as is, I don't need them all. I can make that. If it was individual properties, then I'd need SPLs. With that change, I can just revert it. Where did we make other changes then on 209? I don't know that we did we make any other changes on 209?
Well,
Until we get to the Hamlet area.
I think the approach to the hamlet maybe had some AB three.
The next changes really are where Main Street. It's this. It's this section here.
Yeah, I'm just trying.
That's where all the Hamlin stuff is.
Yes,
I still think it should be Hamlin. I think if you
We
look
haven't
at.
Well-
invested in any infrastructure to be
the reason I did look, well, I did look, Michael, you can't go all the way to Medicahonks though, because there's a stream in between and there's no way to ever even do a sidewalk that far.
I also don't think there should be a sidewalk on a road where it's 45 miles per hour that people constantly go.
I feel like that's
faster
why
than
there
others.
should be a sidewalk,
Well, I,
because I see people walking on it.
Yeah, I would
And
agree
I'm
with
like,
you.
what the hell?
But,
I never see people walk the road they're in when I see that, but
I feel like if we wanted to extend Hamlet onto 209, we have to do major. There needs to be some town or county backing for infrastructure. I don't think you can change the zoning and then make that happen. We need to like do a feasibility study. Like, I don't think it's an appropriate time to change.
well, and Ag and Markets came back and said the AB3 zone shouldn't be changed because it's floodplain. I mean, I can show you.
Oh, I think that we need to invest in infrastructure there though, because
We do, but that's millions that we
That's
don't have right
fine,
now.
but like, things are happening, like, we need to figure that out. Anyway,
We need bigger partners than just us, though.
Yeah, and I think
We need
the
the county and the
concerns
state.
about the farmland with what it would do to have like a farm that is surrounded by hamlet I just think that we should leave it.
I
So,
think it's a wash for now. We can relook at it at a different time.
so here's,
But you can't just magically have stuff happen just.
if I can just point out, if you look up on the screen, I just put the flood zone turned on. That whole area is totally in the flood zone, which is why the county said, don't make it Hamlet because it's so much in the flood zone.
Then it's gonna stay business.
what does
It's
Hamlet
not
do?
business, it's AB3. It's AB.
It's AB3,
Except for that
talking
one parcel.
Right by Main Street. Oh, okay.
except for that one parcel, it's all AB3 until you get down past the church. And then it becomes business, but it's still better to have business than residential in major flood zones.
Yeah, okay, keep it AB.
Yeah.
That's where we also. That's where the store is, right?
Right. But county's not wrong about the flood zone.
I mean,
Now-
it is currently business, like there are currently businesses, there, so we don't, yeah, we
Now,
definitely want to keep.
I do, Michael, when I wouldn't disagree that down here, which is the big vacant lot in front of the storage units and where skate time is, those are currently zoned business. And, I'm not saying I would disagree with changing those, but in business,
Yeah, because you can still build residential on it.
Yep.
I mean, the reason for making it Hamlet would be to have like mixed use building, so if it's not connected to the current.
And we were proposing Hamlet up to the skate time property, right?
Yeah.
And then the stuff after the skate time was staying
There were a
business.
couple flag lots that didn't.
Oh, we do want to change though. There is a lot here in the back that when it was zoned originally it was all one lot and it no longer is. It's this lot right here in the back, which is across from the RV, camp there, the RV camp. That property there should not be business. That should be residential. Let me turn off the map wire for a second so you can see it. This one right here. That property has a house on it. It was zone business because at one time,
Oh, those were all the same.
all that was joined all the way to 209.
But it has an RV camp on it.
No,
No,
the RV camp is
that's
across the
across-
street. I'm using it for reference.
That one has.
I lost where you were.
I just want to make
Stream.
sure.
Right here,
Is that a
Michael.
stream running? Or am I thinking of a different?
No, there's no. street
no,
right.
sorry.
It's this
Yeah.
parcel right here.
Collateral. Where's 209?
Down.
209 is here.
Oh, you went all the way up Medica.
Yeah,
No, we weren't going up 209.
well,
I was doing up there.
Yeah.
well, the only reason I'm pointing it out is it was zone business because in 09, all this property surrounding the storage units
Yeah.
was all one parcel. And since 09, this back piece was split off from the front piece because that was a home.
Mhm.
And it was zone business at the time because it was all part of that one parcel.
We did propose to leave it.
I know we did, and I'm proposing that we change that because
These two flags we were proposing to change to.
well, that's, see, this at one time, back when in 09, all this was one lot. And this was a separate parcel. All this was zone business at the same time, when this was subdivided. There was, we didn't do any zoning map changes. But the only thing is, I'm saying back lot.
That's fine.
I'm should change from business. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you on the other. I wanna just,
Yeah, I agree with that.
It sounds creepy.
do you guys agree with that change?
Yes.
So R2, it's 6.3 acres.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it contiguous to another residential? Is that? what's in it?
Yes, it's contiguous, well, actually, to.
Yes.
No, R2.
To RV.
Yes. Here. Everything surrounding it is R2.
Okay.
Oh, and I see what you're talking about, Michael, the little pieces of flag lot that are business in the front.
I think it's one lot. I think it's actually
Yeah.
one.
Let
one
me
parcel.
let me just get the SBL for the one we just did, so I can make that change.
But yeah, it's one big massive parcel.
Which one are you talking
That's.
Up here, it's over here. It's the big parcel in this green one.
Mm-hmm.
And from these two front sections, these little flags
Mm-hmm.
are both currently business. We had said we were going to. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so are we keeping those two pieces business, or are we gonna make them a thing?
So you're talking, Michael, here,
It's SBL 76.2-5.
it's that big parcel that is 58 acres.
Yeah,
And let me see, I think it's even in the ag district.
we said we'd make it A3, but the front part is split into two business.
I don't think it makes sense to leave the front part as business because, especially in the little tiny piece up here. I see what you're saying. Is it business or AB3?
Currently on mine, business.
Yeah. I think we should really go by, the zoning map is actually the most accurate. I don't necessarily always trust the counties because
Yeah.
we found a number of mistakes. It's business.
Yeah.
It's business.
We should make the whole thing.
That's
Oh, no, it's not business.
Yeah.
There's that finger, it wraps around that.
No, it is.
That's
Oh, no, it
all
doesn't.
There's two
business.
little
You're
flags
right,
here.
you're right. Yeah, it is. There's these two little flags where it's business on either side.
It's just because of, the nearest to the road.
Yeah, so the whole piece should be AR. How is it on the proposed?
We propose changing it all day three.
Okay, so that one we're gonna follow. Proposed. What's the SBL on it? 76.2.
-5-4.111.
Got it. And everything else along there is gonna stay at business.
And so we're basically saying everything stays business in AP3 along, all the way down to.
Yeah.
Almost down to.
Where, Michael, can you look up by an SBL number? We have another one. We had 76.2 -2 -39.110. It was B and AR3, and we had a note combine it all to AR3. I just want to make sure that, I don't know where that was.
It's farther down.
Did we not get there yet?
I don't think,
Okay. Oh, good.
we're almost.
Well, because these were all being proposed to change to Hamlet.
That one that you just said is on the other side.
Hamlet was only gonna go to first B. And then everything was proposed to
Right.
stay B
Yeah,
and AB3 pretty much all the way down to almost Boyce Mill,
okay.
to the last two parcels before Boyce Mill.
Oh, wait, I know what I can do. I can put it in parcel viewer and find it. Oh, those properties were down by Boyce Smith. I got it. Okay. So we can go back to those later. So then across the street from those where we were before at Whitfield, I mean, at Medicons, all the stuff across the street is all gonna stay as,
AB3 across the street and then
Yeah.
B down.
yeah,
Well, there's some Bs in the front.
there's some little ones, the little Bs. But none of them were proposed to change. We only changed the skate time side of, right?
Yes.
Yeah, those little Bs, so up to Whitfield, so none of this proposed to change.
Pretty much down to Boyce Mill.
Okay,
Okay,
I think. Oh, no.
so we need to then talk about, we didn't change any of these business ones here at, what's that next road there?
Hamilton? Or, wait, which one?
Oh, Queens Highway.
Oh, yeah, Queens.
So we left all those business right up to Queens Highway, right?
Yep.
And past it.
And past it.
Yeah.
We didn't change anything until you got up to Boyce Mill.
There's, no, we changed the two just before Boyce. Mill.
Yeah, those.
Yeah,
The
just
one
before
that you
Boyce
were
Mill.
just talking about.
Yeah, we changed those two.
Why?
Well,
Yeah, they went to A3.
We changed them because we didn't think it was necessary and appropriate area for business. You know, the one,
Most dangerous turn.
yeah,
I honestly feel like terrified every time I take that trip.
agreed, and I've
I'm gonna die on that bird.
I've spoken with the
or-
county lots of times about that access and getting them.
Even if there's nobody coming, you still have to speed because somebody's speeding that way.
So the parcel that I just highlighted right
Good.
That's terrible.
It's so scary.
It doesn't seem like that. I'm sure it's worse now.
People
So-
move so fast and you can't see them.
There wasn't even a traffic light here.
So the one that's in the square right now,
When you
Yeah.
turn into-
we were proposing it.
Yeah, it used to go.
It's currently business,
We were tacking on A.
but it used to be. Back in the day when it was originally business, it was tied to this parcel here,
The store over there.
which is the little store there. And we were we were proposing changing those to what?
All right, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Until 9.
And
Right,
then,
we don't need people.
and then the one-
walking.
and then the one behind, which is all,
That's it's wetland.
it's all
It's all
wetlands.
for sale. right now.
That should all be, so we're gonna change both of those into A3? Well,
We did get feedback.
That whole thing
But
that's
the-
highlighted.
but the one in front, I don't think A3 is appropriate. It's the one in front is
Yeah, it's like that
5.8
red.
acres and it's totally residential. It, you know, it had a barn there, but other than that, it's not agriculture. If anything, I think it should be
That's
R2.
not where the store is.
No,
No,
next to the
That's
store.
like the red house that's for sale, right?
It's the brick house.
Yeah.
What were we proposing to rezone it to?
We were
Resident.
I thought we were.
I don't think we were
It's
A3.
We proposed A3 because it's in the ag district.
It is in the active?
Yes. That was our underlying reason for doing the wetland.
Oh, you're right.
area And
You're right.
that rectangle.
You're right. It is all in the ag district. But the wetlands, is it appropriate for the wetlands to be in the ag district? I guess so.
I mean,
Yeah, because there's nothing else you can really do there. You can't really do residential back.
it's like, it floods there.
Yeah,
There's a
great.
little part of it that's on Voice Mill, very small part, it's not in the flood zone, but that's about it, and then
Yeah, I can turn the flood zone on.
the wetlands. Oh, it's actually not a wetland,
So much of it is in the flood zone.
but
That
it
whole
floods all
property.
the time.
So then I would support changing it from B to the AR3 or the A3.
Yeah.
The
Or
house.
could we do AB3, like where it was B, and then.
We could, the back though, Aaron, I don't think.
And then
The back should be A3.
What can
Yeah.
you do with wetlands to make it so people don't build on it, or you just can't build on
You can't build on wetlands, but they're not
Just
necessarily.
that's,
because of
that's not
practical
wetlands.
it, but not because of.
We
It's not,
misspoke,
it's
that's
not,
not
it's actually
wetlands.
not wetlands, it's floodplain.
Okay, but is it just in terms of wetlands?
Oh,
it-
Oh, in terms of
Because you
wetlands,
can't,
you
or
can't
because
build
zoning
within wetlands.
Doesn't allow it. DEC doesn't
State law
allow it.
doesn't allow you.
Okay.
And you can't
So we
cross
don't
them
need-
with a
we
roadway. And
Thanks.
no, but floodplain, as long as you
Without
build 1 foot above the flood elevation, you can build in a floodplain. But the question is, you don't necessarily want to encourage residential in a floodplain. And we actually have in our floodplain laws, if you're in residential, the minimum density is 3 acres, I think, or is it 2? I don't remember, 2. If you want to build in a floodplain, whether you're, no matter what district you're in, if you're building within a floodplain, your density is increased to a minimum of 2 acres per structure.
But I think we should, in those two parcels, the section that was B should go to AB3. And then the back portion of the other
Well,
one
then,
should go to.
isn't it 3 parcels? Isn't it the little one where the store is as well?
Well, I think that one should just stay.
It's not, yeah, it's not being used as a store, but it could be. It's
Yeah,
being
I
used
think that one should
residentially.
stay business, right? I think so, because yeah.
And next to it is the auto repair place, which is business.
I mean, the store, by the way, has not been open for like 5 years, so.
They're not running a store, they're
I mean,
living.
it's only 1 acre, so I don't think we should change it to 3.
I don't think we should change it. We should be.
Yeah, it's currently business. So the two, the brick house and the one behind it, we want to change to AB3. Correct?
No, you should.
The house, I thought we were gonna keep the larger parcel, A3. Do you wanna make them all AB3?
I don't know, I'm waiting for Aaron to, because I've gotten confused.
I think that where the store is should stay B,
Correct.
where your highlighted is, and those two parcels in question should change to AB3. And then
Why would we change the back one to AB3? And not A3?
It's farm field below it down there.
Oh,
We don't
you're
have
saying the
current
AB3 because it's in the county ag district.
Yeah.
Rather, yeah, and the B is because it was business currently and gives.
Yeah. yeah,
Both of those are AB3, the house and the property behind.
that's what I am proposing. Currently, they
They're
are
currently
B.
both B.
Yeah, I think that they should change to
AB.
AB3. I'm happy with that.
Okay. So let me get those two parcel numbers. And were we proposing the store property to change?
No, I think it should stay.
No,
Because it-
were we proposing it?
Oh. Yes.
No.
No, sorry, no, we weren't.
That one was staying. The 76.2-2-39.200 is gonna go to AB3. And then the other one is the other parcel. The 0.110, and that's gonna become AB3 as well. And these other ones that were B to Hamlet. Where are they? So those are, yeah, that's staying B. Okay. So then moving on down 209. From voicemail,
Pink Slings.
that was business already.
That's what she.
You proposed some changes
Where?
going down.
Tell me,
The two,
tell me a SBL.
76.2-2-41.
Oh, yes.
Basically, the first two parcels on the other side of this.
41? Oh, 41.100.
No, 76.2-2-41.
I don't see a 41. I see a
Oh, wait,
41.
hang on.
41.100.
No, we did, they stayed, I'm sorry. No changes here.
Okay.
Transfer station.
Because the other side of Boyce Mill is already AR3. And then across from like Arrowhead is all, we basically have a gap until we get back to the business.
What's the issue? I just was trying to understand what you guys were.
Nothing.
Okay.
I was talking about my fantasy of the town owning a strip of buildings where we could go to all of our stops in one.
Oh,
You just stop by here and get your permits. You stop by here, pay your taxes, stop by here.
I, it's called a singular town hall, which we are
Sounds
trying to
amazing.
find. Yep,
All right, so then,
it's been something the town's been working on for 30 years.
Any day now then,
Well,
we're due.
funding.
I think we should put what we're gonna put towards 209, or skate time 209, 2 million. Put it towards,
We didn't have the money. We're gonna have to go out and borrow it, so.
so can we do that?
Which parcel are you thinking
Yeah,
of?
well, let's finish on the
I
zoning.
agree, that's a.
Well, that's why I said we just carry on.
No, I know, but when we're recording and it doesn't look good to the public if you're whispering back and forth. If I can't hear you, then definitely the public can't hear you. It just sends a message that there's something going on, so that's all.
I'm sorry,
How I
public.
appear to the public.
No, I'm just saying we should stay focused on what we're doing. I mean, this isn't. I understand it's not exciting stuff, but we either have to talk about it and do it, or we just need to let one person make a recommendation. Okay. No, I know, I'm just trying to understand what you guys are whispering, but
Where are we at? What SPL are we looking at?
we're not looking at anything yet.
Oh,
where are the next changes is the question.
It's like there's a little one, did we do something in front of Arrowhead? That little tiny. On the other side of 209?
I don't think so.
76.1-3-25, what is this? Maybe not.
Like, that one took away all that business.
Right there. Community service, what's there?
Oh, that's the EMS.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's what we
Okay.
changed, so that stays.
Yeah, any community service does. So, we didn't change any of the other stuff.
Doesn't look like.
Okay. So then, if we get down to Sampsonville along 209, the current public hearing that we just set is for the lot on the corner that I just highlighted.
And that one was what, I?
That one was I. And we're proposing to change it to Hamlet. So, and just if you guys can sort of hear me out on the rationale, the other two lots next to it. So-
Going down 209.
Yeah, so back in 09, when that whole area was zoned I, there was an existing I zone in the back that didn't have access to either Sampsonville or 209. So in hopes of creating an industrial park in that area, and the nice thing about that area is community water and sewer could be brought in by signing an agreement with Cohasset, with Wawarsing, to bring in the Cohasset Water and Sewer District into that area. Those 4 parcels, Gatos, and then the next 3 parcels, Gatos is this one here.
Mhm.
And the next 3, which was this one, and this one, off of 209 and Old Mine Road, were all zoned industrial. In the hopes of creating an industrial. That was 16 years ago. Nothing's happened. So now we're being asked to rezone this one to Hamlet. What I was proposing with those other changes that I proposed that we said, let's talk about when we get to it, was these 2 lots here are completely residential. That one and that one, they're
Not good.
I'm sorry, that one. Yeah, that one and this one are residential. They're zoned I. If we're gonna change this corner lot to Hamlet, my proposal is that we rezone these other two Hamlet to just make more sense.
What was the second one? Oh, it's that one wraps around?
Aaron, it's the one that's highlighted now and this
And
one
that
here.
was it now.
Right, the access is from 209 for both of them, or for that one.
No,
The access to this one is from Old Mine. So I guess my point is, if we're rezoning this one to not be industrial, I think it makes sense to rezone these two as well to Hamlet instead of trying to leave those two industrial.
Can I remind you, Mike, that up behind that is the two industrial?
No, I know, and yeah, but that still has access. The other industrial parcels are back here, which is that big one and that big one.
That's for the stone.
Yeah, so those two in the front were zoned with the hope of creating an industrial district that in 15 years hasn't happened. Similar to what we talked about with the H zone along 209 back by Medica Hunts. It was a dream that in 09, everybody said, let's try this. So all I'm trying to say is we zoned them industrial. They are really limited to what they can do with that property by being zoned industrial. Nobody has taken the lead to combine all these properties yet.
The one that you said has access on 209, I think you access it from Old Line.
Yeah.
Actually,
The
you
one-
do.
And the only issue that I have is the industrial parcel is on the property line. Like the buildings. If you put on the,
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it is, but bear in mind, those parcel lines and the pictures are not. They're off by as much as 50 to 75 feet, so. I don't think the parcel lines in the pictures are accurate. I understand what you're saying, Aaron. But that whole property is residential. I mean, if you want to leave that one, but the one next to it
Yeah, that one, I
doesn't make any
think
sense.
that one can be
Hamlet,
or
yeah,
Hamlet.
the one I have highlighted right now. That one.
We don't have a lot of industrial parcels in town.
I agree.
There's only 4 areas.
5. Yeah, there's the one on Medica Hunts. There's the one up by Pepper Tree. There's the one up on off Route 66, and there's, no, maybe there are only 4. You're right, I'm sorry, there are 4. And this one. Nobody's asked for this, it just doesn't make, it doesn't make sense to zone it I. If, you know, the goal of zoning it I, and I can only speak to this because having been there in 09, sitting at the table, the goal was to create an industrial park. That hasn't happened.
Yeah.
And I don't see it happening. Nobody has expressed interest of buying out these residential properties and making them industrial. There have been people who've come in with ideas of the Stone Place and the,
They weren't there when it was zoned industrial, right?
what's that?
The residences.
Yes, they were.
Yes, they
No,
were.
they were, and
Yeah.
they still zoned it industrial?
Yeah, because the goal was that over time for it to become. The they was, you know, the town board and the zoning review committee.
I mean, I like having the impact industrial area, but
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
so
And that's what, you're basically what you're saying is agreeing with me, that it was an attempt that hasn't
No, I'm saying I'd like to leave it alone, but I don't feel strongly about it since. it's
Oh,
already-
I thought you, when you said it was, shouldn't be zoned industrial.
Well, it shouldn't, but it was, so I'm fine to
Yeah.
leave it.
I personally don't mind changing the corner that has access off of Sansonville to
Mhm.
Hamlet. That one is a non-issue to me. I also feel like we should leave them industrial. This is the only road that leads to an industrial area, one of the very few that leave, and these other two parcels are only accessible by that road. So I feel like they have to stay
Okay.
in that zoning for the
Cause
potential of.
Old
people
Mine
being-
Road, the road frontage itself is part of this bigger parcel in the back.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying, like,
I
they
don't-
don't have access anywhere else.
And that's fine. I don't really care. I just think
But
that, you know,
the-
their residential uses.
Yeah,
Zoning them industrial to me feels like. And I may have been, back in '09, I was one of the strong proponents of trying this, but it hasn't happened.
The, my point was gonna be the rectangle, which is contiguous with the one that we are considering changing to Hamlet. Like the point that Charlotte just made, the access is off Old Mine, so
The
If
access
it-
for both is off Old Mine, actually. Neither one
Both
access
of
is
the only
off.
one, the corner lot's the only.
yeah, the one on the
That's
corner lot
fine.
is access off Sansville. The one that we are not considering right now, but will be with our public hearing.
Yes.
But the one that you have highlighted, if it
These
were to be
two access
truly
off of.
Hamlet, it's like that kind of weird road that would, I'm just saying, it doesn't have
Down a
the,
weird dirt road,
Yeah.
private road, it's not on a mainly accessible
Old-
road.
Old Mine actually is a town road for that little stretch, and that's it.
Yep.
So,
so
Yeah.
that's I was like, oh, we could zone it residential, but
I think we'd have to still rezone all of that though, like to
Oh.
me, it should match. The rest that's
my only
expandable
thinking
behind.
is accessibility.
let's leave it then. It's fine.
Mhm.
It's fine. Okay. And we didn't change anything more down in the hamlet at all. So I think we've now covered the whole corridor of 209 with all the changes.
Okay.
So now the next question is, while we're in this area, do we want to go up and look at the other couple changes, the boxing camp guy that you said, let's wait and talk about it separately from the other code. He's zoned currently
Where's this on Samsonville?
on Samsonville. Let me find the property. This was not proposed to change.
This is like the tire place.
Yes, this is like the tire place. So it is this, there's 3 parcels here in the ag district. In the county ag district. In talking to Bert Samuelson, who manages the county ag districts for the county planning department, he believes these were all 3 one parcel at one time. This center parcel does not have a date of inclusion in the ag district in his records. Normally, there's a date of when it was included. This property does not have it inclusion. I've lived here for 25 years. It has always been a boxing camp the entire time I've lived here. I have never seen it used agriculturally. The 2 on the other side are being used agriculturally, and I actually spoke to one person who wants to stay in ag, and it makes sense. So those 3, it was, the little ones were Hamlet, and those 3, and then it goes, after that, it goes straight into R1. If you look up on the, and I know.
Which one is the one, can you highlight the one
Yeah,
we're talking
I'm
about?
gonna-
So I can-
Yep, it's that one right
It's the
there.
middle one.
It's the middle one of the 3. That's the one that's the boxing camp.
Between the Hamlet sections there. The one that says Rochester.
No, it's the one that has the red dots around it right
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
it says Rochester.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Got it. I see what you mean. So he's asking to be taken out of A3 and zoned to something residential. So my feeling is if we were to do that, that we make it Hamlet because it's surrounded by Hamlet. It's Hamlet across the street. And it would just expand that Hamlet. Let me zoom out more. So it would expand the Hamlet more. I mean, it does go very deep. But
What's the acre minimum?
we're talking, it's 16.4 acres.
I think that, yeah, I think giving a 16-acre parcel, 1 acre zoning. Could be a little overdevelopment in that area.
Well, if you were to if you were to put 16 houses on it, it would go through planning board review. You know, we're not giving it.
It
Could
be
it?
16 businesses.
Yeah.
It could be. It can't be right now, but it could be. And if you want to look at the base map, you know, the existing uses, I mean, in the front,
It is a.
it is, and he's asking to change it from it. His reasoning is because it's not agricultural. It hasn't been agricultural. I mean, maybe it was at one time, but they were all, and you even look, if you look at the pictures, either side of it is cleared vacant land. That entire parcel is all grown up.
Is the next parcel over? Is that residential too?
What are you calling the next parcel over?
The one continuing up Sansonville.
Yeah, there is.
No,
That one.
the next one after it, this one?
Yeah.
That's also a,
What is that a residential use though right now? All those buildings?
only in the front, it's residential. In the back, they're leasing their land for cows.
So hayfields
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
back.
it's all hay
on
fields.
both sides.
Yeah. On both sides of the boxing camp, it's hay and, but the one of those two parcels, and I'm not sure which one, the woman called me and said that they're leasing it for cows.
What is a boxing camp?
Like for boxers.
Mike Tyson.
Training, like.
Okay,
like
so
for
it's not
boxers, it's like a
residential.
training.
It's not residential. It was used as a training camp for professional boxers.
And it still is, or now it's just residential?
It's nothing right now.
Oh, okay.
He's looking, he bought it. The guy who owned the camp passed away. This new gentleman bought it and he's looking to utilize all those, what it was there. And there's a lot of small structures that were individual places for the boxers to stay or to train and work out. When I first moved here, you used to see him running up and down Sampsonville Road all the time. What he would like to do is convert those into some type of residential use.
I think we should maybe, I know that we typically don't do this, but we could do like Hamlet zoning for part of the
Oh.
parcels and then leave the rest.
And leave the rest AR3
Yeah.
in the back?
I
would agree with
prefer
that. I would agree with
I was
that.
gonna say either needs to be a smaller acre or a larger acre minimum or only a portion. Yeah.
Yep,
But
I would agree with
that's
that.
a good idea.
If we find a line, let me zoom in a little bit.
Limited to that. You can't.
Can you see where my cursor is on? What if we sort of made a line along somewhere in that vicinity? I don't know how many feet that is. I can try to figure out how many feet that is.
Yeah, and then the one on the property to the left of that.
Yeah, it has that tiny.
I feel like we could extend it over.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like, yeah, we could just kind of cut that whole corner with Hamlet and
Yeah.
make it a so many feet of all, there's what, 5 parcels there? And that corner, that like would touch the corner. So you get to the solar field.
Or pick up the housing on both sides.
Yeah,
It would
because
be,
then it would just be like the circle, the
Yeah.
frontage.
That would be great.
I was just looking at that, I was trying to see if the other one was like.
Oh, well, there we go. It's about 500 feet, roughly. So what if we do 500 feet off of Sampsonville
Yeah.
as Hamlet?
Through that
And
corner.
And
we're
then
saying
leave-
we can extend it to the next.
Yes,
parcel
like go all the
over.
way.
If you zoom out, Mike.
Okay, hang on, let me get out of, so now,
Oh, yeah, that's, so I had that problem.
yeah,
You have to delete the measurement and coordinate.
where do I do that?
Just on the, scroll down on the left there. No, in there, yeah, and just.
Measurement.
And it'll make.
Thank you.
Yep.
I always forget how to do that.
So I think if you
If you
zoom
zoom
out a
out.
little, it'll make more sense.
Yeah, like. If you get the 500 feet, you kind of just.
In the front of that property.
Of all of these, just going down and almost.
Just the two of them though, not this one here, not this property.
No,
Not
not the
that
solar, no, now where the solar pit, right, it's
But-
a solar field in the back.
Yeah,
No, just where like.
Just
the
that
other
one
little tiny
and
ones
that
are
one.
pop out, So that it
We do
connects those
500
tiny
feet.
Hamlet ones.
Yep.
All across.
So we do 500 feet off of Sampsonville, a straight
From that
line,
corner, yeah. it's
those
from
two
like almost
parcels
making a triangle
as
to that
Hamlet.
corner.
and everything else in the back as,
As what they are,
A3.
as A3, and well, that corner one's, I think, R1.
It's R1.
That, but yeah,
yeah,
whatever they
that,
are,
that's the end. So the R1 will be R1.
will be that.
We'll let R1 start from there because that's the next spring of R1.
Yeah, so yeah, just through that corner
Yep.
parcel, not the actual.
So
round.
these two parcels are gonna be the first 500 feet will be Hamlet, and then the back will be A3. That's, I think that's a great
Oh, that might be-
suggestion.
We can go from to that other lot. That you said no, if you scroll to the right a little more.
Yeah, it's,
So from this one over one to.
no, that last one, she said it's being, it's in the ag district.
the other one is in the ag district and is being farmed,
It's being farmed.
and there's no residence on it.
That, the one,
Building.
there's a house in the back.
There's a house right in front.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, so then it cuts off to where
Yeah.
the residential part of it is, so it's Hamlet, the back is still AR.
Yeah, that one is, yeah, there is one house in front, but all the rest of that back part is, so doing 500 feet doesn't make sense. If anything, Charlotte, what if we just drew a line?
I was gonna say, if it dropped off, it doesn't have to be the full 500, but to get that, the residents in the Hamlet section.
If we square it off from the parcel right next,
Yeah,
The
just
little
square
one.
it off like the
And we
line
just
there
square it
across
straight
the line, yeah,
across.
that's what I was saying, just to get that house in the Hamlet section, so that
Yep.
if they wanna do anything there, it
okay,
connects that, then it's like a full circle on both sides
I got you,
from that curve.
I got you, that makes sense. Okay, so let me just get those SBLs so I can make sure we do this properly, sorry. What time do you guys wanna stop? 3 hours at 9:30? You wanna keep going? Do you wanna stop now?
9:30 sounds good.
9:30 sounds good.
That way we
That would be better. Well, that's what I was asking.
You wanna stop now, Michael?
We could do that.
You leaving them up?
That was me last Thursday. I ended up packing at 6 o'clock Friday morning. Because I got home from the meeting the other night and I was like, I'm just going to bed.
Well, I realized the error of our ways, we cleaned the house first for the person staying over and watching the dog, and it's already destroyed by the toddler again, so lesson learned, pack first, clean later. My whole living room, all the toys, just put them, well, everyone.
I mean, it's the next thing to do, the PL tens.
Well, or we could go back to,
Not meant saving.
we could either go back to Kaiserreich, look at that and finish,
Is that the
knock
only
that off.
Yeah.
Concern?
No, some of the stuff up off of Rock Hill and all that, we gotta look at.
But that that wasn't all PL ten stuff.
No, some of it was changing it from A to R5.
All the way at the end.
Yeah, I mean, not even all at the end. It was just some of those bigger parcels. We changed them from A3 to R5.
Mhm.
And some people liked it and other people didn't.
Well, I got my calls.
It's tomorrow. Good luck.
I don't even.
Tell Alex we want to start the negotiation on the.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have so much strength. I think we should do the joint drag stuff and then call.
Okay, that's,
Can I say something about the Kaiser stuff from the audio? Out of my official seat, because I didn't actually get my letter, my mother-in-law did for my property. I just would like to say, you guys moved me to R1, because it says I'm 2 acres, but it's only 1.8 acres on mine. I'm fine with R2 if you guys keep it that way, but I think R1.
did we move to
I
R1?
think we should move it to our.
It was
Wait,
R2,
which one do you
I
wanna-
thought. Mike, like, I'd like a 2-pick parcel between the middle school and the.
Yeah, but did we move it to R1?
I thought it was R2.
We did whatever we did for the
Yeah.
whole street.
Right.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're the only parcel is like under.
You have the
Mine's the
map right
same as
there.
the rest, yeah.
So. I think it's.
Yeah, this little skinny
It's
right
R2.
here, that, yeah, we did it R2.
Yeah, we did that whole road R2.
You guys don't have to, it's just I didn't realize it was R2, but I have two.
But yours, we already rezoned to R2.
No, I
No,
signed up
to-
AR.
AR3, because that's what all. the
Oh,
zone
Because
is.
okay.
that's what everyone.
It was
else
R5.
Understood.
The first time.
We zoned it to AR3.
Yeah, I wasn't
and
there
now,
when you
and
guys-
now we're going to R2 for all.
Yeah, I just say, yeah, because you can barely see it. You guys don't have to or not.
I think the R2 makes sense for that stretch, right?
Yeah, I
Now,
think everyone else.
we did have the question though, across the street from the school of that rezoning. And that was one of the properties.
Yeah, that was, do we have the SBL number for that?
Yeah, let me get there and find it. If we're gonna go there.
If you want to search by address, Mike, it's 85, guys.
Yeah. Yours?
No, the one that you're trying to
Oh,
look at.
okay.
It's across from the school.
Yeah.
I just happened to get their mail a lot in my mailbox.
I'm about there right now.
You gotta go a little.
Oh, wait a minute,
left.
I'm in the wrong
Yeah, you're
place.
far end.
Yeah, I'm in the wrong place. Here we go. Now I'm in the right place.
Whoa.
So 69.4-2-2 is currently zoned AR3.
I don't think it changed.
No,
Did it not change?
Is that the one? There was something about 2.
Well, the other one was the one over on Cherry. That was brought up. Oh, was it this one, the 69.4-2-37? Those are also AR.
We had,
We weren't.
It's. What this?
I don't think I put the notes on.
I don't think we proposed to change them.
No, we
There was
didn't.
something,
No,
The one you're talking about, Aaron, is the property. Was the uses that,
no, there was something on this
No.
note. Oh, here we go. Oh, I think it's current special use permit for spa not clear if use is allowed in new updates. Okay,
Oh, that's an update to the code, not.
I think,
yeah, but
yeah, that was the.
But
one.
if it's a current use, it's still allowed. Oh,
That was the
oh,
one, yeah,
we took
explained
that,
it.
we took the spa out
Out
of
of,
A3.
yes, and we kept it A3,
Yes.
but was a spa.
So it's a use issue, not a map issue. So we'll get to that when we deal with the uses.
Right.
But we're not proposing any
Not
changes.
changing.
Oh, that's right.
But,
Right here.
Yeah, all this is still the same.
but
Yeah, these.
we do allow. a
Those
spa.
little ones, it does make sense, I think, to change
And
them.
then you see why, like, that little tiny sliver is me compared to all of that.
I get it. But zoning a single property, there are one. It makes
We
more
just
sense.
zoned everyone on 209 business except for that 183 in a corner. I mean, whatever you guys wanna do.
Yeah, but that one had the reasoning behind it because of the. Even if it got zoned to R1, if you're 1.8 acres, it can't be subdivided.
No, yeah, and I'm not-
So that's why it makes sense to just leave it up to, because R1 allows a lot of business uses. R1 is more about a neighborhood walkable area where you could have a little,
daycare next to the school.
yeah, but
Up to you guys, it's whatever
Yeah,
you wanna
okay.
do, I can help. I might, Michael, you and me both need one,
so,
just Sally, I'll leave her John.
There you go.
Get them to right off the screen. But No, you guys can do whatever you want. If
The
you don't
home-based
change it, I
daycare,
can
you can
just
do
put it.
that.
yeah.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a principal use.
It was just a new thing.
Mini putt.
You can't do that in R1 or
You
R2.
can't-
I know, well, that's why, that's probably, if you actually knew that, that takes away that option.
Just like that. Little garage.
Yeah,
Well,
guys don't have
but
to
you
change it.
can't
I
put
think
it,
if
you
we're-
can't put it off for 6. So
I,
even if it's zoned A3, you still have to have the acreage to.
so I think there are other properties, I think, that are under 2 acres. So I think we would either want to change everything that's under 2 acres to R1 or keep everything.
But,
You guys can leave it.
but all that R1, we changed back to business, so now there's no R1 there at all.
I'm just, yeah, I'm talking about this.
Yes. It
That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
makes more sense to leave things contiguous, similar, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
The point I was saying is either we do a broad action where we say anything that's under 2 acres goes to R1, or we leave
So-
it as R2.
So
As-
my question, so I understand, all these that we changed to R2 are gonna stay as R2. We changed the business ones along. All these are gonna stay R2.
What did we do with these two? Did we look at those?
I thought we said to change those back that were on the corner when we were there.
The corner across the corner of 209, but did we change those two as well?
I'm talking about the property that just has the sign on it, those ones.
Yeah, that corner one, the corner of
Yeah.
209 is changing back to business.
Yeah, that's what,
Well, what Aaron is talking about is not actually on 209, it's on Kaiser. And it's,
I don't have those numbers.
I can give you the SBO. So yeah, the first two properties are changing. Oh, you're asking about the ones across the street from those two?
Yeah.
I don't know. They are strictly residential. Should they be business?
the one is
The one is a business?
on the corner.
No, not the corner.
6-9.
This one right here, the one on the corner is,
Oh, I know, that's like where. it's the
That
driveway
one
behind it.
and this
No,
one.
that one is a resident.
These two are both residential. And I think they should become R2 or, yeah, R2.
The third one is a repair garage. That one that you have highlighted right now?
That's a repair garage?
Yeah,
they
right,
have
isn't that what he
they have a
does
small, engine repair business, in there. That's Lenny's.
Yeah.
Oh, it's listed as a single family.
All right, let's not throw him under the bus.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's listed as a single family business.
Yeah, I thought that they were both businesses then. That one's like a residential based one, so.
So those two were business. In our proposed changes, we put them to R2. They're both 1 acre parcels.
I think the one you guys were just talking about is this property here, not the third one and the second one. Right there?
Those,
Yeah.
that one has a business on it currently.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That white top.
So that one should stay business,
Yeah.
but the one next to
Yeah,
it,
that's what I was gonna say, that two and it should, is where the change should be, not three.
right, this one here,
What, is it vacant?
no,
No,
it's
that's
got
the
a,
one with the boat.
it's got a single family,
It's only-
got a single family manufacturer.
Yeah,
And it's currently business and we're proposing to go R
R2.
two.
Right, we were proposing to go to R2 with this one and this.
But I think that the second one, the one next to it should stay.
The one next to,
Next
it,
1.2, yeah.
yeah, this one should stay business.
Mhm.
But this one should go to R2.
Okay.
Okay, let me just get those SBLs, so I have those, so I know which is,
Cause it's contiguous to other R2s.
yes. It'll be the start of the R2 and everything next to it is R2.
That's our proposal. Our proposal was to change all those to R2. They're currently A3.
Oh, okay.
They're A3, but they're not agriculture. There's no agriculture there. They're all residential. And they're not in the ag district. So all those that we propose to change to A2 or R2, excuse me, are gonna switch with the exception of this one up here. That one is gonna stay business.
The county data is not always right. Aren't they the ones giving us the changes that we made?
Say that again?
If the county data isn't always right and the parcel view is not always right, aren't we sending these to the county and then they're sending us updated maps?
Yes, but they're updating the maps based on what we're telling them to put on the maps.
Yeah.
Our zoning map is, this zoning map, every parcel was verified as to what the zoning task force in 09 did, every single parcel.
Just wondering where the data entry error is happening.
Where the data entry happens is real property service.
Oh, parcel viewer
Sometimes
is pulling from there.
parcel viewers pulling from real property service.
Because my data comes from the county and that's also wrong. So I'm just worried that it's a mistake.
What do you mean your data?
Isn't yours from a few years ago?
It's from 2019, but it should be the same. It hasn't changed. We haven't redone any zones. since 2019, right?
No, we have not.
Mine.
So it's probably just,
Most of the mistakes that have been identified, as they've been identified, I go to the assessor's office and they can get real property to correct.
yeah, okay.
Their data. might-
The zoning map overview, when you click on the zoning district highlighter that we sometimes click on, that's done by the county IT people.
Okay.
So usually the discrepancy is somewhere in that circle of people. But the zoning map is 100, this zoning map is 100% verified accurate for what the for what the local law said.
Got it.
So,
So we done on Kaiserreich?
I think so. I just gotta get these properties. Do we wanna call it a night here instead of?
The only other thing that I remember, I think there was some concern about on Pine Ridge, the next road down.
Like you
Where,
wanna also do Pine Ridge?
yeah, I do.
We fixed that though.
we did that.
Did we fix that?
Yeah, when we were going
Because
down.
I wasn't sure when we said, no, we're not going off the road, so we did get the.
No, yeah, that was.
Yeah.
And are we keeping all that business and not going to?
Oh, wait a minute, which one went to R2?
We had.
Let me just.
Yeah, go
finish.
ahead. Well, before we forget about it, because we're gonna bounce to like.
The chairs, leave them because they're setting them all up tomorrow for the luncheon. Yeah, so just leave them because they're gonna reset them all tomorrow.
I know,
Let me just
we can just. put the
throw in
two
corned
on the
beef
bottom
around.
sides for them, at least when they have a roast.
Okay, yeah, I mean, they're gonna move them to wherever they wanna move tomorrow. Um, So-
I'm not gonna be here.
So where do you wanna go, Michael?
Hmm?
Where did you wanna go?
The next road down Pine Ridge,
But I have.
we had started working down there. It was business that switched to R2, and I remember there was some people.
Yeah, they want.
They wanted to stay.
I thought we did.
We were talking about it and then that's when we're like, well, let's stay along.
Yeah, I just don't think we had a clear answer if we did or not.
Oh, so it's those three on,
Yeah, 211, 221, and 230.
Oh, yeah.
so why would you, I'm playing devil's advocate. Why would we want them to do business? I know they currently are, but other than the fact that they currently are, why would they stay business?
Yeah, I mean, it's just people express concerns about going from business to
Yeah.
more restrictive.
You got it?
Were you a waitress?
I mean, I don't really care, but it just, it's Pine Ridge is not really conducive road for a business.
Yeah, it may never turn into business, but.
Yeah. So.
I mean, there's somebody back there and it's right behind, like, the only somewhat a semblance to a strip mall we have, so.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it, ever like expanded to like more of a shopping center for people, but,
I would just leave it alone.
yeah.
okay.
My computer died.
Question before you get off the map. 22 Sampsonville, did you guys change that to R1? And Hamlet?
R1,
Just now?
No, that wasn't the works. I just didn't hear you guys mention it when you went upstairs.
we didn't because we didn't get any, it's changing. I think if it's the one is it the manufactured houses there?
The Mike's.
It's Hamlet.
Yeah.
We're proposing changing it to Hamlet, and there was no controversy, so we're changing that to Hamlet.
Okay.
We were only
You
talking
texted
about
me a
the
couple
ones,
minutes ago.
we were talking about the ones that people brought up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or again?
It's his property. He wanted, it used to be 1 acre R1, and then somehow half of it got changed. It got the line.
It's actually, yeah, it's a longer, yeah,
Okay,
nothing real, yeah, exactly. But we put it in our proposal to change it to Hamlet. It's the one next to the town's solar field.
oh, okay, yeah.
It was AR3 because at one time the lines in the county were drawn a little bit incorrectly with the town's property. And it got lumped into AR3. It's not agriculture. It never was. We proposed in the changes to make it Hamlet, and there was no problems or issues. So I didn't even bring it up because there was no
It sounds like
concerns.
it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'm
Okay.
texting it.
That's one of the properties, Aaron, it's one of the properties that when I was
Yeah.
proposing that 5 of them changed to the Hamlet, the whole area, it's one of those properties, so. But we didn't talk about it because we were only talking about the ones sort of along.
Yeah, we didn't get to it yet, yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, so we'll just leave those in business. So then real quick before we adjourn, we got 2 proposals for the, record storage building. I will be emailing you scoring sheets based on the criteria that we established in the RFP tomorrow. I'll email each of you. If you guys can utilize, I'll email to you in Excel format. Everybody can open and work in Excel, so then you can fill in and either print them and bring them with you to the next meeting or email them to me and I will print them and bring them. And then what we do, Emily, is we do our scoring in a public meeting. So based on the criteria that we set in the RFP, it's a 0 to 10 ranking, or whatever the maximum points are for each category. If it's 30 points, then you award it somewhere between 0 and 30 based on your review of the application. And I'll email you the criteria in the RFP so you can all see that. Just have that completed before the audit meeting and either bring it with you at the audit meeting or email it to me between now and the audit meeting. And then we will do the official tabulation in public.
Yeah.
And then from there, we decide if we want to have further interviews or if we just want to award based on that tabulation. Okay, so. Thank you, everybody. 9:22.
What time did we sign on Sunday morning?
10.
Okay. At the court, see you there. Should I walk? Should I walk?
Yes.
I can pick you up and ask all my questions on the way.
It'll take us like 40 minutes. Okay.
It takes me 30 minutes
Did
from my house.
you stop us?
Oh, not yet.